Hey guys, Ramsey here. Welcome to another live stream. How is everybody? Hola. How's everyone doing? Happy Friday. It's the weekend. It's actually a long weekend here in the US. Monday's a holiday, and I'm glad I gave myself a little extra time to start the stream because I thought I was sitting here at like 4:30 going, man, I got a lot of time left. I don't know why I set it out till 5. And then right on cue, my daughter started crying. She was taking a nap, and I was like, oh, here we go. All right, so I had to get her up, and then, of course, she wants her routine. And she's a very routine person, just like me. And so it was perfect. And now here we are, starting exactly punctual. We're starting exactly at like 5 o'clock, like I said we would. I used to have an old mentor that used to tell me that, what was the saying? The saying was, early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable. There's some life wisdom for you young bucks. Good evening, Dushan. Good evening. Rich says, goodness gracious me, more Xerjoffs. The only good Xerjoff is a broken Xerjoff. Just saying hi before the stream starts and I go to sleep. 1 a.m. is not for me. It's too late in Israel for Dev to join us, but thank you for popping in, brother. Rich, like the stream. By the way, Dev uploaded a video. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet, but you guys should check it out and give him some feedback. Yes, that's right. You can check it out tomorrow. The beauty of a stream. Xerjoff. Oh, I know this is going to be a fun one. You know, yesterday, actually, there were a couple of them that I really liked. I liked Fars. I liked Luxor. And I liked Ceylon. Those were okay. But my God, Italica was maybe one of the worst fragrances I've ever smelled. Right up there with Symphonium. Symphonium and Italica would fight each other for the worst fragrance. Sapiens Homo versus Xerjoff Momo. Oh, God. Starting off with dumping Xerjoff already. This is promising. Oh, yeah. It's, you know how it's going to be. Luxor is the best. I like Luxor. It reminded me a little bit of Gucci Pour Homme 1. There was a little bit of that dry incensey. It didn't have the usual sweetness that most Xerjoffs just carry with them. You know, Xerjoffs usually have this baggage of sweetness with them, and Luxor didn't. It seemed very niche. It seemed very, it didn't have the usual Xerjoff DNA of ultra sweetness. So maybe that's the most, maybe that's one of the most Xerjoffs that someone like me can take that doesn't have the sweetness with them. The best Xerjoff is the one you return for a refund. That's good stuff, Paroli. What are you guys wearing today? What are you guys wearing today? Happy Friday indeed, Daver. Happy Friday indeed. Good evening, Ajay. Welcome, brother. Here we go. Right on time. Punctual. I'm a punctual ram. Hello, hello. Hello, Nikki. Thanks for being here. Ram Hizzle. Usually I get Ram Dizzle, but I'll take Ram Hizzle. Let me tell you guys what I wore today. And I did a video on it, so you guys can check it out later if you're bored. But I wore Spirito by Mayo Fusciuni for the very first time. And I really like this. This is a fantastic vetiver. In the video that I did, I basically said that it's a great vetiver for somebody that doesn't want to smell like they don't want to smell like a real vetiver fragrance, like a vetiver heavy fragrance like this. Or I did a video recently on vetiver extraordinaire, or one of these really heavy vetiver perfumes, Sultan Vetiver by Nishane, something like that. They don't want to wear the really vetiver dominant fragrances, but they would like a well-made vetiver. This could fit the bill. It's very herbal and aromatic and very comforting and relaxing. And, it reminded me of being a little kid. It was very, the trees were, the big trees were almost like photorealistic, slightly fresh. I said it reminded me of REM's Green album cover, where if you just look at the cover album of Green, you think it's a picture of a bunch of tall trees, you know, camera looking up. But if you look closer, you'll realize there's actually water ripples around the edges, and it's a reflection in the water of the trees. And that's a perfect representation of Spirito. It's fresh. It's you know, there's thought put into it. You can tell that Mayo Fusciuni is somebody who really puts his heart and soul into the perfumes, and I really enjoyed it. I am very excited. We're going to do one of these streams, or maybe I'll do individual videos where we test some of his other fragrance, like Luce and number 1 and number 2 and stuff like that. So it'll be good. I think it'll be very good. Michael John, welcome. What is going on with my camera, man? It's like having a conniption. Hello, everyone in the chat. Indeed. Good evening, Andy. Welcome to the Xerjoff Horror Hour. Amouage Reflection Man and Mitiatar. Ah, you're mixing and matching, eh? Do you love Reflection Man, Ajay? I forgot if you're a big fan or not. This is the made in the United Kingdom. The long lost United Kingdom bottles. Good stuff. I like Reflection. I love wearing it in spring and summer. Maybe I'm alone, though. Most people I see wear that in winter. Hey, Keith. Welcome, brother. Just finished your review, Professor? Pierre Cardin Monsieur. Ah, smelling like my dad. It is an incredible feeling to smell like your old man, right? Myth's Woman. I really like that. That's a great green sheepra. Nathalie Larson is, she's brilliant. I really wish somebody would give her a chance at Dior, or, you know, like a big house with a big budget, you know, make her the in-house perfumer of YSL or something. Good evening. Sent to the night. Naxos decants. Are decants refundable? I have a decant of Naxos. I was going to save it for its own individual review, though, so we're not going to talk about it today. Today on the chopping block, we've got Fiero, and I know nothing about these. So we have Fiero. We have Tony Iomi, who I guess is the guitarist for, what was the band? Was it Ozzy's band? Was it Ozzy Osbourne's band? I can't remember. Starlight. We have Starlight, not the Starlight from The Boys. We have Golden Green. I wonder if that will be Golden and Green. We have Alexandria III. So I was going to try to save this until I get 1 and 2, but I don't think I'm going to find 1 and 2. Apparently 1 is a little bit of a unicorn, goes for big money. And I'm sure I'll stumble across 2 one of these days, but I don't know if it's worth waiting. And Commandant. This is from Beauty Concepts Shop in Deutschland. Commandant. Good day, Ram. Sent to the day. Vintage Vetiver. Man, this just knocked Green Irish Tweed out of my signature scent spot. I'm in love and ordered some backups. Ram, how do you keep the backup demon at bay? It's hard not to buy. It is very hard not to buy. I bought backups of Antaeus and Givenchy Gentleman recently, as you guys saw. I backed those up even further. Not that I really needed it, but I always feel like I don't have enough of the ones that I truly, truly love. So I know what you mean. I honestly think 1 backup is enough. It doesn't feel like enough. And for the ones you really love, maybe 2 backups. But when you have a big collection, you probably won't get through them. Bellamy Vetiver in a leather jacket. Just feeling like $1 million, right, Dushan? 80s Musc de Cartier. That's a beautiful fragrance. No one ever talks about it. I actually have the vintage pure parfum, and it's amazing. It is definitely amazing. See, doesn't this video look better when there's actually light coming in the window? I will do a video on Musc de Cartier Parfum one of these days. You can see there's not very much left, but still enough for me to do a video on it and talk about it and wear it. It's so green and ambery. This is some sort of a refill bottle, apparently, that I scored. I got this at a really good price. The pure parfum of this goes for crazy money, and that's what this is. It's very, very good, though. Definitely deserves more spotlight on the channel than what I've given it. Do you like Naxos, GMG? Daniel Hechter, Character. Man, you guys are knocking them out today. I love Character. I got a backup. I got a 100 ml vintage backup. There's a new Character that's still for sale. You can still buy this. And Amouage actually sent me a decant of the modern stuff. So one of these days, I plan on doing a comparison video. It's on the list. It's on the never-ending list of videos I want to do. Hey, Kevin. Welcome, man. Happy Friday. Good evening, Dimitri. Good to have you. And another Dimitri. Enjoyed your previous video on Xerjoff. Man, I watch your videos almost every day for the last 1.5 years and enjoying your honest take. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to have you in the comments. Thanks for joining us. Luxor is like you fumigated a leather jacket with cinnamon incense and swipe a smoky oud as well. Comforting scent for me. Dry. I liked how dry it was. I liked how dry and I liked how incensey it was. It reminded me a little bit of Gucci Pour Homme 1. Vintage Jovan Musk and a pissy honey animalic composition I'm working on my hand. That sounds good. Pissy animalic and honey has my name all over it. Zoologist Hyrax, yes. Yeah, that's a good animalic scent, isn't it? Pavillon Rouge by Javoy. I don't think I've smelled that Javoy, MJ. What's it like? Hello, Nick. Thanks for being here, man. I should be getting some cufflinks very soon. Nope. GMG doesn't like it. Yo, John, welcome. Scent of the day, Armaf Club de Nuit Intense Man Parfum. Silver Sprayer Adama Antaeus came through the post in the evening. So testing that out too. Bit of a contrast in fragrance profiles. Yes, absolutely. How fast today you sold that La Belle Helene. What's the frequency? Ramsey, that's right. What's the frequency? Ramsey. This whole thing's a dream. Didn't like Reflection Man first, but grew on me to a point where this could be my signature scent, but I don't believe in that crap. Yeah, signature scents you can't have a signature scent. My personal stalker, that was fast today. Less than a minute. You need to tell me your profile. Did you buy it from him, Dushan? Carizia Spazio. That's another one I've never smelled. For my discovery set, the last drops of Santal Galore. Man, that is a beautiful scent. Absolutely stunning. And you know, if I could get just one Arise Ladore bottle that I don't have, it would either be Santal Galore, which luckily I still have a couple drops of, or it would be Malik Al Taif, which luckily I have even less drops of, but still enough to smell it and spray it. Oh, God. This might be my favorite rose oud of all time. I don't even have a bottle. It's so good. It's so unbelievably good. Man, these old Arise Ladore creations really wish I would have discovered them back when you could just pick them up, you know. Santal Galore and Malik Al Taif, 2 full bottle worthies for sure. But good luck finding them. I think there is a Santal Galore on eBay, but the guy wants a G. Black Sabbath, that's right. Yep. Oh, it's fantastic. It's the best Mysore sandalwood in a composition I think I've ever smelled. Yeah, it's the best sandalwood. I would let me put it this way. If I ranked my favorite sandalwood fragrances of all time, Santal Galore would be number 1. This would be ahead of Egoist, ahead of Egoist Concentrate. It's perfection. It's everything you could ever want in a sandalwood fragrance and more. I've tried Tony Iomi in store. It's got a boozy note, which is why I was looking forward to it. Interesting. Collection Man 45 is much better than the original. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, I'd love to try it one day. I have not found that to be true for the other, like Epic 56, or Shiva sent me a decant of Interlude 53, so we'll do a comparison video on the Interlude. But yeah, I don't know if I have high hopes that's going to be the case, but if it is, that would be cool. Tesla is on the photo. Ajay, I don't have the vocabulary to describe it. I doubt that I'll ever be able to afford it. Yeah, I mean, if you had $1,000 just lying around that you don't care about, you can grab it right now on eBay. Angelo's Creations Olfactifs Queer Fluorescent. Wow, Andy. Wow, I've never heard of that one. Evening, Micah. New York Intense. Very nice. I should be having a 100 ml bottle of that coming thanks to a friend. Thanks to Cullen. I wonder if he's in the house today. 1,000, yeah. I can't. Even if the money was just sitting there and I didn't even care whether I was going to burn it, or I just can't pay someone $1,000 for a bottle that was $250, you know, a year ago or 2 years ago. I just can't do it. This is right. Logic does not stop us. It's a battle between getting new scents and just rebuying your favorites. Feels good to get to know you got juice for a while. It's exactly right. That's my battle too. Like testing new stuff, I'm always interested in discovering. But on the other hand, if all you do is discover, you'll never wear your favorites because there's so much to discover. You'll never end. It'll never end. It'll just continue on and on and on and on. You'll just be testing stuff forever, honestly, because there's always all of this new stuff coming out. The Ram Jam is unstoppable. Scent of the day, Musc Tonkin. That's a great musk. I'm a fan of Musc Tonkin, man. I am a fan of Musc Tonkin. Do you have the Eau de Parfum or do you have the Extrait? I can tell you that the Eau de Parfum is, it's probably one of the best synthetic musk fragrances. I don't think, they're not out there using real musk like the Aries Ladores, but for the synthetic musk fragrances, it's very close to the top for me. My Festo, that's not one of the ones that I've smelled yet, is it? My Festo, Xerjoff. Let's see, Xerjoff. There's so many fragrances that Xerjoff has. I can't keep up. Is that the Castle Marati line? My Festo from 2008. Is that the one from 2008? Yeah, that one I don't have. I don't have a sample of. I've got my Festo Gentle Uomo, I think. Rogue Perfumery, Chypre Siam. That's a beautiful one, Mark. Yeah, that's a real beautiful one. Yeah, actually, I've got 2 bottles of this. The other bottle's bigger. This is my baby bottle. If you've never smelled Coty's Chypre, this actually sits pretty close to Chypre as far as scent profile goes. I would love a vintage bottle of Chypre, but if I never find one at a fair price, again, I'm not going to give the scalpers $700, $800, $900. They can F off. I'll just wear this. It's really, really good. Scent of the day, Givenchy Vetiver. I've never smelled that one, Paroli, but I like the vetiver grass you got going in your profile. You're almost the best smelling gentleman in England now after Rich. Just got home and broke a mason jar of benzoin. Fuck my life. Oh, no. That sucks, man. I bet that's not cheap, Nikki. Sorry to hear that. Scent of the day, Mask Milano Russian Tea. Have not smelled that. And Juliet Matt Amor de Palazzo. It's 1:15 a.m. That's why I almost never see your live streams online. Sadly, love Xerjoff Ceylon. I love Xerjoff Ceylon too, Dimitri. Yeah, that was one of the good ones from yesterday. Angelos used to have a YouTube channel. Very cool guy and big collector. Ah, interesting. Not familiar with him. Nasomato Baronda. Never smelled that one, Mike. What's it like? Everyone who drains a bottle of Xerjoff, they are obnoxious. I sold my More Than Words after a month. I tried over 50 of them. Only XXY and Ohm are worthy. And Ohm, and honestly, the thing about Xerjoff Homme, and I do love it. I'm not going to lie, but you can tell. I'm pretty sure this is just one of those Christian Carbonell, Christian Provenzano creations that he just kind of made smell like something from the past. So this is why I love it. There's a definite comparison between this, and even this. My favorite leather that no one talks about. This is Goma by Etro. There's similarities between all three of these. And so it's easy for me to like this Xerjoff Homme, but there's nothing really there's nothing groundbreaking about it. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, they rewrote the rules like Aventus, or they didn't create some great Chypre like Diaghilev. There's just very little props that you can give Xerjoff other than to say they just kind of made a niche version of a fragrance that was made 100 years ago. You know, in Knize Ten. I need a vintage bottle of this. It's on my wish list. Russian Oud or Santal Galore? Oh, God, Ajay. Both. You need them both, honestly. Russian Oud's probably the best Oud amber, Oud amber chocolate I think I've ever smelled. And Santal Galore is, I think, the best sandalwood. I mean, the guy just has his fragrances have the key to my heart, man. I love them. Cannot wait. Got 3 bottles coming in the next week. Patchouli Intense by Nikolai. Insomnia by Fabio Safari. And an older bottle of Dior Homme. Which bottle of Dior Homme did you get, Mark? A signature shelf. That's right. Patchouli Intense is... Patchouli Intense, it should have been Geranium Intense to me. It's very scratchy, but it's good. Signature Neck. Not willing to give an opportunist the reward of $1,000 to do wonder what people will be paying in 30 years' time for a bottle of Santal Galore. You are exactly right. It'll probably be 25 grand or 30. Honestly, I know that sounds insane, but it probably will be. Artemisia by Enrico. Not familiar with that, Tim. Chris Spears, welcome to the chat. I don't believe I've seen you before, sir. Scent of the day, Fahrenheit 32. I've never smelled that. But I know that, I think that's the one that's discontinued and goes for big money. What's the vintage Chypre Siam? I have a long neck version. Long neck? What do you mean long neck? You lost me there, Dimitri. Givenchy Vetiver is very rooty and dark, not sparkling like Guerlain Vetiver. So that was actually Monsieur Givenchy, I forget his first name. It'll come to me or someone can tell us in the chat. But that was Mr. Givenchy's signature scent. He wore Vetiver. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. With the green cap, you mean, Dimitri? I've got that Givenchy Vetiver. It deserves more love from me this spring. I've never smelled it, Rich. Rich got something outrageous today. I am absolutely jealous. And I'm just going to tell him now, Rich, because I feel like I should. Because it's that outrageous, so I'm giving away your secrets now. Rich found a vintage bottle of Pot d'Espagne, the lucky little duck. And I didn't say duck when he showed me the picture. I went, fuck. He found a bottle of Pot d'Espagne. Where? He was like, France, I just bought it. I was like, fuck. I'm going to find one day. I'm going to find a vintage bottle of this. One of these days, you will be mine. It's so good. Ivan Milenkovic, welcome to the chat. Yeah, I'm glad to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Do you like Baronda? I've been really thinking about getting one since I want a boozy frag. It's a solid one. You're right, Richard. Yeah, I need to score a bottle one of these days. But I have a Vetiver bottle on the way. I said what it was on the video. I won't say it on the stream. But I do have a Vetiver bottle on the way from a friend. Yes, hello, Ivan. That Santal Galore on eBay is $9.50 or best offer. Tempted to just offer $3.50. Just I mean, is it bad to say I'd give him $500? I would. I'd give him $500. I enjoy my Festo. It's beautiful. Yeah, I've never smelled it, Boomer. Thanks. I just sold my Fahrenheit 32. I used to wear that years ago, but it fell away. Yeah, I know what you mean. Interesting to see how you find Fiero. It gets compared to Scandal and Eau Sauvage. Okay, interesting. Let's see how they go as far as the time that they came out. So Fiero, man, there's just so many Xerjoffs. Fiero. Casomorati Fiero, 2009. All right, let's just go how I put them in the damn stream. Fiero's number one. Let's start there. Let me jot these down so I don't forget. So Fiero is going to be left wrist. I hope you guys appreciate these. I should be getting hazard pay for doing this shit. I need time and a half. I need overtime to fucking test Xerjoffs on skin for you guys. God, the horror. All right, here we go. Fiero from 2009. Oh, yeah. Definitely Eau Sauvage. This is fucking Eau Sauvage. This is Eau Sauvage. This is maybe it's a little bit more citrusy. You know, there's a slight bit of this citrus, almost like lemon meringue pie at the top. So imagine you took, Eau Sauvage, right? And you added this creamy, like lemon custard pie, like this, maybe lemon meringue pie. Lemon meringue pie is a great way to describe it. It's Eau Sauvage with a slight hit of sweet lemon meringue pie. Not very good. Not inspired at all. Again, uninspired shit by Xerjoff. Shocking. Let's see what it says. It says there is a little bit of mint. So I bet you it's the mint that gets the comparison to Scandal, because Scandal, Roja used a little bit more peppermint. And so this uses mint. And I'm getting the mint now a little bit stronger. So it's bergamot, blood orange, lemon, tarragon, mint, neroli, thyme, coumarin, nutmeg, patchouli, sandalwood, and vetiver. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. If this is your thing, you know, like if you like, this, if Chanel Pour Monsieur or Dior Eau Sauvage, if these are like your loves, your forever perfumes, which they're not for me, but if they're for you, then you'll probably like Fiero. You know, the citruses actually, I'm getting reminded a little bit more of this. I'm getting reminded a little bit the way the citruses are done. If you've ever smelled Capucci Pour Homme, there's a little bit of this. Yeah, there's a little bit of this Italian style, you know, strong, lemony, orangey combo citruses that kind of hit you. It's slightly bitter right now, but even though it's slightly bitter, that lemon meringue pie thing is still kind of in the background. So it's not as strong as when I first sprayed. But yeah, this would not move me. This would not move me at all. Rich Mitch indeed. On the hunt for a bottle of Guerlain Lonstant de Guerlain Promo Extreme for a decent price. Wish me luck. Yeah, good luck with that, Mark. Honestly, mate, I'll save you some money and just tell you to skip the whole Unless you're just a bottle collector and you want this bottle, which if you are, I completely understand. This is actually the Eau Extreme, even though it doesn't have the black around the outside. It is. It's the Eau Extreme. If it'll focus, probably won't, but if it'll focus. God, this camera sucks. So it is. It's the Eau Extreme. Take my word for it. I would tell you to save your money. Well, first of all, don't give someone $500 for this. Don't do it. Don't even give them 300. It's not worth it. Just get the Eau de Parfum in the Listerine bottle. Honestly, I'm telling you, I'll save you hundreds. Use it on something better, more rare. If you're asking about my Rogue, yeah, the bronze long cap with green fabric. Oh, as long as the green fabric is on it, it's the same. I have one of the longer caps too. It's just for the bigger bottle. This is a small bottle. This is a, I think this is a 30 ml. So I also have the 50 ml, and the 50 ml has the longer cap on it. I have that same bottle. It's just under, it's under lock and key. It's under armed guard. The Praetorian Guard circles my fragrance collection downstairs. Bro, just got my hands on fragrance from 1948 that has your name all over it, and one from 33 as well, dude. Don't tempt me there. Don't tempt me there, Hawaii. Musc Tonkin is amazing. I've tried the X-ray version. Also, I really like Tabak Taboo. Yeah, that's a really good one too. I'm impressed with Parfum d'Empire fragrances as well, Dimitri. I think that some of them lack in projection and sillage and all that stuff that some people go crazy about. But when you have a big collection, one of the advantages, you can just spray away. You can just straight up spray away, you know? So like Queer Ottoman suffers a little bit from that. You know, after a couple hours, you kind of want to pull the trigger again. So just do it. That's what I do when I wear it. I just pull the trigger again. Baronda is one of the most realistic boozy scents I've tried. Nothing like all the designer boozy scents. Smells like the inside of a wine barrel. Oh, wow. And I'm really digging Alessandro Gutierrez's work lately. I just did my first Ordito Parisi video on Bocanera, and I really liked that scent. And I liked his whole, you know, you interpret it yourself. We're not going to tell you what it is. There's no notes. There's just pictures that he puts up. So yeah, I'll put Baronda on the wish list, mate. That's vintage indeed. Brutus by Ordito Parisi, another one that's on my to sniff list. Welcome, Ali. Welcome. Let's see what Xerjoff's website says about Fiero. They're always good for a laugh. Xerjoff Fiero. Okay, here we go. Buckle your seatbelts, boys and girls. One of these days, I just want to spend an entire stream reading press releases because they're such bullshit. A truly refined scent for the perfume connoisseur. Fiero Casamorati is a spicy yet woody experience that evokes a bygone era. Yeah, because you copied Dior Eau Sauvage from the 60s. It does evoke a bygone era. Opening with fresh bergamot and lemongrass, it leads to a herbal heart of time. I did say lemon meringue pie, didn't I? They say lemongrass. I say lemon meringue pie. It leads to a herbal heart of thyme, tarragon, mint, lending the scent a truly unique accord. Well, maybe not unique. Maybe unique for Xerjoff because it's not bubblegum and fucking, you know, candy notes. In Fiero Casamorati, warming notes of nutmeg, patchouli, and vetiver provide a classic base and inspiring vintage scent that celebrates the ancient art of Italian perfumery. Well, I will give them that. It does celebrate the ancient art of Italian perfumery because it smells like old perfume that came out in this style. It smells like Capucci Pour Homme or Eau Sauvage by Dior or Chanel's Pour Monsieur. It smells like all of these. So it smells like Roja's Scandal a little bit. I think I like Scandal Pour Homme a little bit better. But this is still good. I mean, it's in the same style. None of these really move me. So I could, honestly, to me, and this may be blasphemy to some people, but all of these are interchangeable. Capucci Pour Homme, Eau Sauvage, Chanel Pour Monsieur EDT, Roja Scandal, even this one, Fiero. I could interchange all of them and give two shits. They don't really do very much for me. This style, I mean, I'm sure it smells classic and great, and I prefer, if you're going to make me wear this, like if you said, Ramsey, you have to wear Fiero, I would prefer to wear it in the heat because I think this type of DNA does better in the heat. But, you know, it's kind of one of those things where I would think maybe I would smell weather appropriate for people around me, you know, the citrusy, classic type DNA, but Hub says he scored 2 bottles of Eau de Hermes Copper Cap. Congrats. Don't worry, Ram. Rich doesn't have vintage Knize Ten. Thanks for that, brother. Yeah, that's right. I believe in you, Dushan. I believe in you, mate. Xerjoff is even going to put Chemi into their XJ bottles, FYI. Interesting. Very interesting. Xerjoff Chemi and PDM Demi. The official mascot. Someone called her a mascot the other day, and that just cracked me up. I can't unsee it now. Xerjoff, she's our man. If he can't do it, no one can. Xerjoff, yay. My favorite from Xerjoff is Alexandria II and Naxos. I also like Commandant and others. Well, we're testing Commandant today, mate. So you're in the right spot, Ted. Welcome. Dushan, you got me thinking, who is the biggest Xerjoff shill? And I just broke out in that routine. I missed the question by mere seconds. I like Fiero, but it's nothing special and already own Scandal. Yeah, I 100% agree, Ivan. If you don't own any of this style, like if you don't own, you know, I would even just throw this in there, even though it's a little bit thicker. But if you don't own Tiffany for Men or Eau Sauvage or Chanel Pour Monsieur, Capucci Pour Homme, or, you know, Roja's Scandal Pour Homme, if you don't own any of those, you know, could you grab Fiero and be happy? Sure. But if you own any of these, pass. Save your money, which I'm guessing is going to be a theme we're going to talk about a lot in this Xerjoff video. Pass and save your money. Yeah, only 2 likes. Hit the damn thumbs up. It's Friday. I told you I need hazard pay for this shit. Give me some likes. Cherish my Russian oud. Best oud on the planet. Not yet sniffed Santal galore, but the best sandalwood I own is Crabtree and Evelyn extract. I have never smelled that, Andy, but I would tell you right now that Santal galore has to have it whipped. There's no way that Crabtree and Evelyn can compete with this. Santal galore, man. If I win the lotto, I'll give the guy on eBay $1,000. Hub Zero, we're immersed. I envy you, Andy. I got on the Arige game late. It is right. Don't you wish you got on the Arige game just a year or 2 earlier? Just imagine the gems you could have snagged. I'd take that Versace L'Homme over Eau Sauvage any day. Eau Sauvage never stood out to me. It never stood out to me either, Sticks. So, and you can see, I mean, I will, when I wear this, I spray the ever-living shit out of it, and then I reapply it again and spray the ever-living shit out of it. And it's the same way when I wear Pour Monsieur. It's the same way when I wear Capucci Pour Homme. I mean, those are fragrances I just spray away. Just treat it like an eau de cologne almost. Nick got decants from Iomi, Starlight, Alex III, and Commandant from the list. Really like Iomi, and the others were all good. Okay. So Mark is giving it the thumbs up. I think 20% of Xerjoffs are actually decent if you can find them at very heavily discounted. Yeah, very, like 95%. You are right, by the way. How to choose a name and comment as you did. 1948 and 1938. Which creeds are those? Those are the top secret vaulted creeds. They're not discontinued. They're vaulted. I could bet some of them are decent. 150 plus fragrances. And most of their fragrances seem like You know, like I mentioned earlier, my favorite Xerjoff Homme is kind of like a clone of Knize Ten, or let's say heavily inspired by. Let's not use the word clone. Let's say heavily inspired by stuff like Etros Goma or Knize Ten. So yes, so you know, they're copying or they're using as a blueprint the greatest fragrances of all time. Of course, they're going to be decent sometimes. You just have to write the full name, I think, at least. Creed's press releases are the best worn by King, but yeah, they are. Some of their press releases are absolutely outrageous. Evening and happy Friday from my perfume peeps. Welcome, Amouage. Good to see you, man. Oh, by the way, speaking of Amouage, Amouage very kindly sent me these Serge Lutens from a benefactor from a friend who wants to remain anonymous for now. I'm still trying to get him on the channel one day. He has to get approval from work, he said, but he's going to try to come on. And in that haul, if you go watch my huge Serge Lutens haul is what I basically titled it as, he sent me this, a vintage bottle of excess pour homme. And I wore it to bed the other night, and it is beautiful. I don't know if it's worth, you know, the vintage big money that it goes for. I wouldn't pay $300 or $400 for this, but if you find one of these vintage bottles for a really good price, go for it. It's great. If you like Creed's Himalaya, I think Creed definitely took notes from here, even though they say, like Chris was saying, even though they say that this was worn by the Duke of Wellington in 1769 or whatever they say, you know, just know that this is just as good. Excess pour homme is really good. I enjoyed it. I think it'll be great on a summer day. There's a little bit of freshness, not aquatic, but almost kind of going into that fresh territory. I really enjoyed it, though. Good evening. Good evening. All of you guys are so proper. A lot of effort to type the full name. The real king of Serbia, that's right. It's fantastic. Thank you for that. Do you think it's worth the blind buy or sample? I've tried Roja's Creationi and Tony Iomi, but not much else. Another round of Xerjoff so fast? Yes, that's right. I want to get all of my suffering out of the way instantly. Hard to get very excited about a big lemon. Oh, Rich's arch nemesis right there. Big lemon. You're missing at, and you won't notice it. It's a plain chat. Ramsey ended up on Ode to Jerks when he was bashing Bodicea, the shit Aureus. I guess Ramsey is jerk approved. Everyone loves Ramsey, even the slime balls and Ode to Jerk. I didn't even know that. Actually, someone send me that so I can check it out because I don't know who Ode to Jerks are. Pontiac Fiero is greater than Xerjoff Fiero. Amouage in the house. Dusan was the most famous Serbian Tsar. Ajay, same here. I swapped one of my Metallica backups for the Russian Oudh, as I never would have paid $1,000 for it. If anyone has a bottle of Metallica or a partial bottle of Metallica, hit up this guy right here. He wants one. 180 for 30 mils ain't cheap. Yeah, that's true. Mr. Momo needs to put a perfume per month out because his Lambo drains that juice. There is a house that actually has a perfume per month, like a monthly membership that you can sign up for. It is the house of Sense of Wood. You guys know about this. There's like a monthly, you get this basically every month. You get the candle and you get this 10 mil of juice. And every month it's a different fragrance. So we can do one of these lives where we test out a bunch of the Sense of Wood one day because I've got a ton of these samples that Rachel sent me. This is probably my favorite, though, this Sense of Wood Oud and Bourbon. I think this is better than Plum and Cognac, to be honest with you. Plum and Cognac is okay, but I don't know why it got all of the hype that it did. I would rather just wear Rochas Femme if I wanted a, you know, plum Oriental. Love Tiffany for Men. Mr. Polsch is a perfume god. He is, honestly, and you could just wear that over Fiero. All right, let's get the next one on my skin. So the next one is going to be, what did I put it as? Tony Iommi. All right, let's see. Let me find it. Tony Iommi. Here we go. So we're going to put Tony on the right wrist. Please don't let this suck. I'm going to be caked in Xerjoff. I hope I don't have to go anywhere later. All right, Tony. Let's see those riffs, baby. Let's see those riffs. It's like a warm ambery thing with sweetness. Of course, there's going to be sweetness. Is there a touch of oud in this? Or is my nose deceiving me? Let me reset the nose. Yeah, a little bit of booze. I'm getting the booze now for sure. It smells like almost whiskey-like. This isn't terrible. I think I like that Spirit of the Glen from DS and Durga better. That's discontinued, though. You can still just go buy this Tony Iommi. Yeah, now the liquor's really coming through. At first, it felt like ambery oud, like a lot of amber and a little bit of oud. Now it's starting to feel more and more like a liquor-heavy fragrance. Yeah, and I'm getting whiskey for some reason. I like this. I don't hate it. What's up, Abe? Hey, Abe just did his first video. You should go check it out. I did subscribe to his channel. It's a good unboxing. My favorite Xerjoff, so Pico Valladama and JTC 400. Interesting. Thanks for that, Jefferson. That's why he is Momo Jerkoff. Yo. Sticks in the house. Eventually managed to enable my comments. Watched your earlier Xerjoff video and tried Naxos Ajmal 1001. Nights is way better. Scent of the day. Floss Mortice by Rogue Perfumery. I've never smelled that one, Marcy, but I'm glad you got your comments enabled, and welcome to the stream. Just got Versace Man 4 bottles. Is it close to Versace Oud Noir? Don't have that one. Consensus is Versace Man is better. There are a lot of bits and pieces in Versace Man that they then use to take Versace Oud Noir and make it what it is. So yes, I would say it is close in a sense. Yeah, it is close in a sense. In another sense, it's kind of a completely different fragrance. Like if you take a look at the notes, this is a tester, so I have the notes on the back. It's neroli, bergamot, angelica flowers, black pepper, saffron, cardamom, amber, living tobacco leaves, labdanum cysts, and cashmere woods. And then if you pull up the notes for Versace Oud Noir, you'll notice that for Versace Pour Homme Oud Noir, they keep the neroli, they keep the pepper, they keep the cardamom, they keep the saffron, they keep the... Is there patchouli in here? No, they add patchouli. So they add patchouli, oud, and leatherwood. So yeah, so they add a couple things, but that neroli, pepper, cardamom, saffron thing that is basically in Versace Man, you will get that in Versace Man Oud Noir. So this is discontinued. I think if you can get this for $100, it's worth it. Don't pay $200 or $300 for this though, but $100, 100, 125, I think it's still worth it. And you can find this Roman for $40 still, I think. Yeah. If woody orientals are your thing, it's not bad for, you know, for Versace's take on Oudh. 4 bottles, though. How'd you score 4 bottles, man? Did you pay a lot? Or did you just get a steal? I'm one of those sharks that buys multiples before discontinuations, even if I don't like the frag. But to be fair, I use them for swaps. That's smart, Andy. That is smart. I would totally swap you my backup bottle of Idole de Luban for a Metallica. Every time I put on Tiffany, I'm blown away. Such quality work. Puts a huge smile on my face. Yeah, I like it too. It's really good. It seems a little thicker than what they were doing with, you know, Pour Monsieur and stuff like that. Tiffany for Men seems like Jacques Polge and Demachy really kind of amped it up a little bit. I like that. So this Tony Iommi, this is a huge fragrance. This is really heavy and very realistic liqueur smelling. That may put some people off. Let me just see what Tony Iommi. So this is the Monkey Special, they call it. Tony Iommi Monkey Special. Sweet, spicy rum. So it lists rum, not whiskey. Passion fruit, Bulgarian geranium, and Calabrian bergamot in the top. Cinnamon, Singapore patchouli, and leather in the heart. Australian sandalwood, vanilla, caramel, tonka bean, ambergris, labdanum, and musk. So I wonder if it's going to turn super sweet in the dry down. There is some sweetness, but I've said it before. If you stick sweetness in, you know, if you stick sweetness in tobacco fragrances or liqueur fragrances, I actually don't mind the sweetness too much. And I can stand the sweetness here, but the liqueur note is very realistic. I mean, if someone just kind of gets a whiff of this, they may actually think you've been, you know, choking back some of grandma's cough medicine, if you will. Alexandria II is cool. Not something I'd pay retail for, but definitely try it out. Yeah, it's on the list, Abe, for sure. Not tried the Fiero that you have on at the moment, and from your comments will not need to get it unless like super, you know, citrusy, old school Chypres are your thing. There's no need. There's no need. I've heard some people say similarity between the two, but I would highly disagree. Grossmith people got real royal warrants. I'd really like to try Hasso no Hana. Me too. That's on my list, Ajay. That's been on my to sniff list for a long time. It's expensive, though. Let your words be set in stone. Walking in a niche luxury shop in 2023 is like a never-ending tribute song. Everything new is inspired by something else. That's right, Palace. You are 100% spot on. Yes, I really enjoyed Excess Pour Homme. Thank you. Thank you, Anuj. Very, very kind of you, sir. Scent of the day, Creed Royal Cedar. That Royal Cedar, man. It's getting some play. Hola, Ramsey and fam. A barber on the side, and that is a dope mid-skin fade. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Very fresh indeed. That's everyone yesterday was making fun of the haircut, but once it's actually done, it's not too shabby, eh? When it's not done, and I look like the guy from The Fifth Element, you know, it's like one day a month where I get my hair cut, and it's going to look like that. Maybe I'll just throw a hat on next time so I don't have to get the Fifth Element jokes every time. No wonder, because of the legendary Gerard Anthony. Yes, he totally influenced Creed. I will say this. over this version of Himalaya, the one that I'm holding, the 100 ml, this is a 2017 bottle, I think I would rather take XS Pour Homme. However, the vintage bottle of Himalaya that I had from like 2009 or 10, I can't remember the exact year. I might even still have it in the attic. I don't think I ever threw it away. It was a 120 ml bottle, and it was one of the earliest creeds I ever bought. I went through the entire bottle. I would take that vintage version of Himalaya over this. It was the opening was just spectacular. It was a true 5-star opening. It smelled so like you could really smell the ambergris, whether it was real or fake or Creed's ambergris or what, I have no clue, but there was something about that opening and the quality of the ingredients that just seems so much better than what Creed is putting out right now. Floss Mortice is epic. Interesting. I'll have to sniff that. Big lemon. Rich just had a slight conniption. Just backed up my Balenciaga Pour Homme before Rich could snag it up as well as a bottle. Charles of the Ritz Koros, congratulations. I sent some Parfums Corp Koros to a friend who's going to send me a bottle of Vetiver Extraordinaire in return. Wait, the guitar player from Black Sabbath has a fragrance? Yes, he does, Justin. And it's boozy. It's boozy and ambery. And they don't list oud, but I get a little touch of oud. Interesting. Let's see what Xerjoff has to say. Xerjoff Iomi Monkey Special. By the way, Fiero is 270 euros for 100 ml. Tony Iommi Monkey Special is 235 for 50 ml, so you get half the juice. And it says, this Xerjoff Blends Rock Edition sees Black Sabbath's legendary guitarist Tony Iommi unify his monolithic riffs with Xerjoff's esteemed expertise to create the first multi-sensorial interaction primarily between music and perfume in an unexpected and unique olfactory venue. The Tony Iommi Monkey Special by Xerjoff Blends is what rock and roll in the late 60s was for Iomi. Xerjoff pays homage to Tony's Italian roots with the tantalizing top notes of bergamot from Reggio Calabria, rum, Bulgarian geranium, and passion fruit. Opening to cinnamon, Bulgarian rose, and patchouli at the heart, Australian sandalwood, ambergris, vanilla, tonka bean, caramel, and musk at the base rounded off this olfactory journey in a luxuriously sleek and gothic bottle available in selected retails. Okay. I will take them for their word. That whole multi-sensorial interaction just blew my mind right there for a second. Let me turn the light on. Don't go anywhere. The sun is going down. We're running out of sunlight. Let there be light. All right. Best plum-centric fragrance for me is now the discontinued Plum Japonais. I've never smelled that one. Tony Iommi for me smells like a night out in a pool bar where you've had too many Captain Colas. Yeah, that's a good shout. There's a definite, rum and Coke for sure. Good memories. I was always a cranberry vodka guy back in my day. Smells like War Pigs. Yeah, I don't hate it though. Good work indeed. You should try Rochas Femme. Yes, you should, Dimitri. Indeed, and you can pay extra for his autograph. You have to be kidding me. What's the autographed edition go for? It only shows a 50 ml on the... Oh, never mind. Sorry. I see it now. The signed crystal bottle Only a limited number of Tony Iommi signed crystal by Xerjoff blend editions were produced and are no longer available for purchase. Buy now, only 550 euros. Wow, what a deal. I should do that right now on stream. PDT's good. Have to agree on that one. Just recently got Plum Japanese, and it's amazing. I'm curious how it compared directly to PDLN3, as they're very similar. PDLN3 is similar to Plum Japanese. Really? Interesting. Ivan, I'll have to check that out. Iomi gets better in the dry down. I was actually worried about that caramel in the dry down. Oh boy, does it get sweet. If this doesn't say sweet, this is good. Yeah, it's rum. Thanks, John. Steph's, hello. PDLN3 is much stronger and more resonance. I barely feel any fruits in it. PJ is much more wearable. Interesting. PDF, unfortunately, not yet. PDT, I will send you a decant. The kindness of Dushan has no end. We're an hour in, and we've only done 2. So at this rate, it's going to take us 3 damn hours to go through these. Nestorov, would you say it's redundant to have both? Also, is PDLN3 better performing? It carries a hefty, it does carry a hefty price tag. I've got it right here. I forgot which one it is. It's one of these. Yeah, it's this one. Good old PDLN3. The black on black. It is very well performing, and it does last all day on clothes. Like if you get PDLN3 on your clothes, you'll smell them for a week. I mean, if you put them in the hamper and you take it out, you'll still smell it. This is I ended up going for, I think, number 1 and number 2. I don't own, or number 1 and number 3. I don't own number 2. Number 2 is the only one of the PDLNs that I don't own. That's the rum one. I like PDLN3. I think it's way, way overpriced, but I like it. It's good. It's good stuff. Good morning. Good morning, Dre Fudan. You managed to try Xerjoff's Decas. To my nose, it's a brighter, latent exclusive. I forgot what you said at the end of your exclusive video. Your thoughts on it? My thoughts on it were that I don't think it's as challenging and animalic as Xerjoff made it out to be. But, you know, maybe it's slightly deeper and darker than regular latent, but you won't see a bottle of latent exclusive on my shelves unless I get on Xerjoff's good list and they start sending me free shit. Second video in a row, Ram, in between smelling Xerjoff is shite, sniffs a frag. It's not bad. I like it. I hate to break it to you, Ram, but I think you actually like Xerjoff. There have been some that I actually think are not bad. I really like Ceylon. I liked Fars. I liked Luxor. But there were also some I despised. Like, for example, that Italica. That was one of the worst smelling fragrances I've ever smelled, ever in my entire life. It's up there with Symphonium. It's up there with Symphonium for some of the worst. What is up with this camera? Stop moving. Stop moving, camera. Bad camera. Yeah. See, now it looks off-centered. Now I gotta fix this. There's like a weight in it, and so it just continually goes back to the center no matter how many times I move it. So yes, I mean the ones that I liked, I didn't. There were a couple that I did not hate that I thought were okay. Tony Iommi I would wear. I sure as hell wouldn't buy it though. That's the problem Xerjoff has with me, and that's the reason I own 0 bottles, and the only one I own is this one. Some, you know, refill, not the fancy bedazzled, you know, with the lambskin little covers that go over the bottle. Like that stuff doesn't appeal to me. Floss Mortis is discontinued. It's a narcotic tuberose fragrance. Any tuberose fans in the house, always on the lookout for a new recommendation. Just ordered a sample of cocaine. I haven't smelled that one, Marcy. Haven't smelled either of those you mentioned. Do you like Diaghilev? I definitely underpaid. I paid 86 a bottle. The guy did not know what he had until I came the next day to buy the last 5. Nice. Yeah, 86 a bottle is worth it for sure. Yep, Diaghilev is the king Roja. Think I'll wait for Xerjoff Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah. Could you imagine the advertisement? Ozzy like falling up the stairs, falling down the stairs. I'm down to 2 full and 1 3/4, but I'm hoping to use them in future swaps for a Jedi or Guerlain de Russie. Fair. Very fair, Andy. It's naughty in there. Yeah, they're a bunch of shitheads, I've heard. Not that I give a shit. Tempting with the Idole de Luban, though. Decant, here's what you can do. The 1 3/4 full bottle, you know, take out the 50 ml or whatever, decant it for yourself, and just sell me the remaining, half full. Like, swap me the half full bottle for the Idole de Luban. I just don't know how we're going to get it to each other. Haircut is sick. That's not what you guys were saying yesterday. Everyone said I look like the guy from The Fifth Element. Gary Olderman or whatever his name is. Stan's in the house. Cheers. He's at the pub again. Stan's wearing Bellamy Vetiver, smelling like a boss in the pub. What are you drinking, Stan? Don't like XS. Too metallic. I don't get that metallic vibe with Himalaya. I know what you mean, JT. And I wonder, this came out right around the time XS came out, if you remember, right around the time of Platinum Egoist. Platinum Egoist, I think, came out in 1993, and I think so did XS Pour Homme. And there is something look at the just cap. There's definitely something platinum to the advertising, to the feel. There's a slight metallic bit to it. But I think that the blend of, the freshness with this, there's this sandalwood note in here, this wood. I'm guessing it's sandalwood, cedarwood, something like that. It's really good. I like it. I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan. It's not my favorite Gerard Anthony, but I'm a fan. Just bought a bottle of Escada Pour Homme. What do you think? It's one of my favorite. It's my favorite Escada fragrance. I have a bottle of the Eau de Toilette, and I have a mini of the Eau de Parfum. So I'm going to do a comparison video one day. I want this bottle to eat a mushroom and grow. I want to get a full bottle of the Eau de Parfum, but they're so hard to find. And again, I refuse to give the scalpers $500 if they find it. Got to hit you up about that. Varide, you don't find Iomi too sweet. It is sweet. It is definitely sweet. But again, and maybe because there are 2 notes that I can stand sweetness in: tobacco and liquor, and this is one of them. This is liquor. So yeah, I would wear this. Happy Friday, TZ Frag. Welcome. You have the EDP version, probably the EDT, Dushan. Any of the Koros flankers? No, none of them. Rich Mitch, hit up Rich Mitch. He's your man. He's tried them all. I haven't. I just stick with the original. Escada Pour Homme is absolutely beautiful. Very nice pickup indeed. I'd take 1270 Frappant. I've never smelled that one, though, Tim. I've never smelled that one, although I would like to. I would like to. All right, let's see what we got next. We've got Starlight. Starlight. There's an ELO song. I think it's called Starlight. It's really good. Where do I want to? So last time when I'm putting them on the inside of my elbow, They're getting a little too close. So I think I'm going to try the top of my arm for this one. So we'll go Starlight, top of my left arm. We'll see if we can keep the smells distinct from one another. All right. Good old Starlight. That smells very, very familiar. Like, I can't put my finger on it yet, but there is something very familiar about this. This is like a sweet cinnamon clove. Oh man, this smells so familiar. This smells like Roja's. This smells a little bit like. I think this smells a little bit like Roja's Reckless Pour Homme meets. Oh man, there is something very familiar about this. Maybe a touch of Clive Christian X for men. Maybe a little bit of Kenzo Jungle Pour Homme. Yeah, I'm thinking it's a little bit of Kenzo Jungle. Again, never unique, Xerjoff, never unique. And this one is too sweet. Someone asked, is Iomi too sweet for me? No, Iomi's not too sweet. This one is, though. This is like you took Kenzo Jungle for Men, which is probably one of the best spicy, one of the most underrated spicy fragrances of all time. This really influenced a lot of stuff. This is an Olivier Cresp creation. And imagine you took this and put just a ton of Xerjoff sweetness on it with a bunch of clove. And this lotion-like smell. There's like this sweet lotion clove mixed with Kenzo Jungle Pour Homme, which, you know, yeah, this one's not good. I don't think Starlight is going to be worth it. Xerjoff Starlight. Let's see what the experts say. 2019 release. Bergamot, cardamom, almond, cinnamon, clove. Definitely. Yeah, I nailed this one. Amber, cedarwood, and balsamic. Yeah, this is a cheap kind of inspired by. We won't say that it's a clone, but it's inspired by Kenzo Jungle Pour Homme, which I paid like $30 for this 100 ml bottle. So there's absolutely no reason to give Xerjoff. What are they going to ask for this? What do you guys think? Xerjoff Starlight. Xerjoff Starlight. They want $235 for 50 ml. They can F right off for that. Starlight is the ignition that sparks a seductive and sensual olfactory experience that is difficult to forget. With top notes of citrus bergamot and fresh cardamom, this perfume from the Spotlight collection travels to a comforting heart of almond, cinnamon, and clove for an irresistible, alluring warmth. I said lotion. Maybe that's where I was getting that almondy creaminess. The enticing base of cedarwood and amber features balsamic accords that set the senses alight. Ugh. Warming spices and sensual accords linger on the skin, hugging the wearer and charming those around them. Yeah, this is overpriced. This one's shite. Did you ever do a Charles of the Ritz Perfume Corps and Gucci comparison? No. It all boils down to the more RAM content. There will be that will come, I promise you. There are a bunch of comparison videos coming on the way, stuff like this. It's just, I have a full bottle of this, you know what I mean? So this isn't going anywhere. I've got a full bottle of Interlude for the comparison with Black Iris and Interlude 53. So, you know, this isn't going anywhere because I've got the full bottle of Interlude. So my comparison videos and full reviews are kind of, I put them a little bit on the back burner because I wanted to test. Like today I did a video on this Mayo Fusciuni Spirito. Like, and I don't have a bottle of this. I probably will never have a bottle of this. Although I like it, I don't think I'd give them 250, 275 for this. And so I want to put my thoughts out there, but that I don't have a full bottle of, and decants can evaporate. So I'm kind of pushing the early impression videos to the front. Thanks to the kindness of you guys. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to do it without people like Shiva sending me stuff, and Nikki, who I think her username on here is N_T. She sent me some amazing stuff recently. So yes. But I will. More reviews, more comparison videos to come, Justin. That's why we love you, Anuj. Glad it's up your alley. Ordered it from the US and cost me a fortune, but it's definitely worth it. Tried Jasmine Antique from the same brand. I'll need to check if the bottle of Escada Peron bought is EDP or not. I don't have the bottle. It's probably the EDT. My guess is it's probably the EDT, JT. The EDP is much, much harder to find. I mean, it was a struggle for Anuj just to find me this little mini of the Eau de Parfum. It is not easy to come by. I would love a full bottle. They are just rare as hen's teeth. I actually don't find a big difference of the EDT versus EDP of Escada. What are your thoughts? I haven't tried it yet. Wow, indeed. I usually fall back to Fiero when I'm in the mood for a lasting lemon balm. Yeah, it does feel like a lemon balm, doesn't it, Sam? Tragedy of Lord George. Had an office day. I've never smelled that one, Sanmar, but welcome to the chat. If it's okay if it's, yeah, I mean, the EDT is still very good. Paid $69 for my 2 bottles of V-Man. Next day came back to clean up the guy's stock, and he charged me $86 a bottle and only sold me 2 more. Would not sell the 5 he had. What? He figured it out, huh? What a shithead. It will most likely be the EDT. The EDP in regular size are almost impossible. Yes, I've been hunting for the EDP in regular size for years. No luck. No luck. Honestly, this Starlight is why people, it's fragrances like Starlight that is the exact reason why people call Xerjoff a clone brand. This is basically Kenzo Jungle Pour Homme with Xerjoff sweetness on top and extra, maybe a little bit more clove and the cardamom, maybe just slightly amped up, but there's no need. I mean, it's kind of the same issue I have with Roja. It almost feels like, you know, they're using their fragrance knowledge of the past to put compositions from the past, the DNA that, you know, most people just don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And there's thousands, pardon me. There's thousands and thousands of perfumes out there, and you don't know what you don't know, right? And so unless you've gone out there and smelled stuff like Kenzo Jungle for Starlight, yeah, Kenzo Jungle is the one that Pour Homme is the one that I would compare Starlight to. Or if you've never smelled the original Eau Sauvage Eau de Toilette from 1966 for Fiero, or Capucci Pour Homme, or one of those, you're not going to make the comparison because you just won't know. And you're going to some niche counter with fancy lights and bedazzled bottles, and you're thinking, man, I'm really getting something special here. You're not. You're not. You're getting played. You're getting played, but you know, when the influencers are receiving $200, $300, $400, $500 bottles for free, they're not going to stop. They're not going to say what I'm saying because the gravy train stops. That's why I want to do these videos. I hope they're useful to you guys. Terre Hermes, Eau Intense Vetiver. I've never smelled that one, but I just bought a 500 ml of Terre Hermes and I'm stoked. Vintage Himalaya is fantastic. And it holds up, and mine hasn't turned either. Yes, it is fantastic. Aramis Tobacco Reserve. I love that stuff, JT. EDP is just a little bit stronger. You had the 5 ml mini, right? That's what he found me, yeah. Yeah, I have the 40 ml too, JT. That's exactly what this is. This is the 40 ml. Good size bottle. Check out Rich Mitch's channel. He's done a deep dive comparison of the various Koros versions. Yeah. He did. I've never smelled those sports or colognes or Koros tattoo, or honestly, I just wear the original. This is the one that I sent Rachel, but not Rachel from the chat, but her profile that she goes by is whoops. Oh man, I can see her. Let's see. Flava Sauce. Flava Sauce is what she goes by. So Rachel is going to send me a half full bottle of Vetiver Extraordinaire, and I sent her 5 decants. I sent her Azure, I sent her Givenchy Gentleman, I sent her Jules, Vintage Jules, and one of the ones she wanted was Koros. So I sent her this Parfums Corp, about 5 mil of this Parfums Corp Koros, and it's very, very good. Amazing stuff. I hope she likes it. And I'm going to get a vintage bottle of Vetiver Extraordinaire in return, but I've never smelled the flankers of Koros. Yep. I have both PDL3 and Plum Japonais, and sorry, but I don't see any similarities. Plum Japonais is darker, stronger, and fruitier. I would think Plum Japonais would be fruitier. Just nope. You'll not be disappointed. Alan Hansen in the house. Fraghead, scent of the day. Oud Violet Intense. Never smelled it, but someone sent me a sample of Oud Violet Intense recently. So we're going to do one of these on Fragrance Du Bois too. The tour continues. The live sniffing tour will continue, ladies and gentlemen. So speaking of live sniffing tour, let's get the next one on the road, which is going to be Golden Green. Ooh, that name is kind of scary. Golden Green. I wonder what this is going to be like. I wonder what fragrance from the past this will smell like. Let's see. Golden Green. So Starlight was left arm. Golden Green right arm. Okay. All right, let's spray. Let's spray this bad boy. I got to see the atomizer. Oh no, I thought it wasn't spraying there for a second. I was like, no. Someone sent me a decant of a Xerjoff called Gao, G-A-O. It was from the Oudh line. And the sprayer didn't work at all. And they used the shittiest. These are the worst. These are one of my arch nemesis. I hate these sprayers. Zoologists use them. Xerjoff uses them. Roja uses them. This one just seems kind of spicy and honestly boring. At least it's not super sweet in the opening. It's dry, spicy, and slightly green. Now some a little bit more thickness is starting to come out. It also smells like maybe there's a touch of clove in here, a touch of nutmeg. I'm just getting like spiciness and amber. Let's see. Amber. This is the coffee one. Okay, yeah, now some of that ambery coffee starting to come through with woods. Yeah, I was getting the cardamom in the opening. Pepper, pink pepper, cardamom, and juniper in the opening. Frankincense, cedarwood, and vetiver in the heart. And coffee absolute and musk. So this isn't terrible. I've definitely smelled worse coffee fragrances. Worst thing about Italica is that it's almost impossible to wash off. I hated Italica. Instantly one of my most hated fragrances. I think I hated it just as much as I hated Symphonium. I really didn't like Symphonium. Hello, Alan. I've been targeting Escada for a long time. I've been targeting Escada for a long time too. It's hard to find. Looks like free bottles of Roja Taif Oud are starting to make the rounds. Steven just posted one of his honest reviews. Well, you have to take his word for it. He got a 750-pound bottle of Roja Taif Oud for free. Meanwhile, I just uploaded my video a month or two ago. Go look at the differences if you're really interested. And it's the same. I mean, it's a different fragrance because they stopped making the limited edition or whatever or I don't know if they stopped making it, but now he put it in his own bottle. It used to be called Fortnum and Mason Taif Oud, and it originally came out I think in 2014. And they obviously he repackaged it, and now 100 mil is 750 pounds almost. It's absolutely almost criminal. You can go check out my review I did off a decant that was sent to me by Armando. Thank you, Armando. It was a very kind decant too. It was like 5 mils. That grape accord before Versace Man opens up with, before it goes into tobacco, is glorious. The scent overall is a banger. I agree. I completely and 100% agree with you. This is actually one of my favorite Versace's. Versace Man, which used to be able to get this for like, this was like a $20 or $30 fragrance 7 years ago. Very few people talked about Versace Man. They thought of it as cheap, sweet. Well, not even sweet, but I think they thought of it as like synthetic and cheap is how they viewed it. And it's not. It's actually a really good fragrance. It does have a little synthetic bit to it. But what you call that grape accord, I think is that mixture of that saffron, cardamom, angelica, pepper thing. And I think it's really good. My favorite Versace, though, that no one talks about, and this should get more love. I should review this. Is this? This is my favorite Versace. Versace versus Uomo. Discontinued, of course. But this is kind of in the style of the fragrances that I love, that I always kind of lump together. I'd even put it in a similar style as something like Escada Homme. Now, this is much more fresh. This has more of that Italian freshness, whereas this has cognac and a little bit more deeper notes. But they almost feel like they share a similarity. They share a similarity in time, in that they came out, you know, within, say, a couple of years of each other, I believe. And so if you like fragrances like Guerlain's Heritage, if you like YSL Jazz, if you like Escada Homme, you know, if you like those type of fragrances, Bois 1920 Extreme, Zeno by Davidoff, you should try this. This is like a Italian version of those fragrances. It's fresher. There's more lemon and petit grain and all that stuff in the top, but it's a beautiful, stunning fragrance. Rosewood is in here as well. It's Versace's best. For me, my opinion, it's Versace's best fragrance. I like it better than Versace Man and Versace Homme Oud Noir. So this golden green, coffee break golden green, is a little more spicy, and it's like a spicy ambery fragrance to my nose. I get a little bit of coffee, and it's not terrible, believe it or not. I can't shit all over this because I don't hate it, just like I don't hate Iomi. Yeah, I don't hate either. I don't hate Iomi or the coffee one. The probably the one that is really most sickening as far as just pure, you know, you're a niche brand. What are you doing putting out something that smells like a designer from decades ago and charging $275 instead of $30 moment is that Starlight. That is that's a very cheap move by Xerjoff. Very cheap. Have you explored any more Beaufort Rams? No, I have not, but I want to. They have a leather. They have one that's called Queer Beaufort. Sorry, it's Cour de Noir, and it's supposed to be a smoky, spicy, leathery, suede-y, tobacco-y, resinous, birch tar, frankincense thing. It's high on my to blind buy list, to be honest with you. Cour de Noir from 2015. Yeah, I like the brand too. All right, Xerjoff. Golden Green. Let's read this amazing ad copy Xerjoff put out. So Golden Green, it is 235 euros for 50 mils. This exclusively available online. This intriguing scent is part of the Coffee Break collection, because that's what we needed, an entire collection of Coffee Break. A unique tribute to the ancient coffee trade. Golden Green centers on the purity of unroasted raw green coffee beans. Yeah, it does feel a little green, actually. There is that spicy, it's like a spicy ambery greenness. For a truly energizing aroma, opening to pink pepper, cardamom, and juniper berries, it leads to an enriching heart of incense, cedarwood, and strong vetiver. The warming base of coffee and musk delicately rounds off the composition. It's very straightforward. Their ads are just like, Ram bought a bottle of Ted Lapidus Pour Homme last night because of your video's recommendations. Excited to try it out. Congratulations, Sandy Ravage. Congratulations, sire. I mean, you're getting one of the greatest 80s fragrances of all time. I showed one of the other ones earlier. And yesterday I wore Antaeus. So you add Antaeus, you add Koros, you add Lapidus. All you need is Boss Number One and, you know, a couple others, and you've got some of the all-time greats right there. But yeah, man, Lapidus Pour Homme. This is a vintage splash bottle that I got from Amouage, actually. This is from the Amouage warehouse. Oh my God. Oh, that honeyed lavender tobacco. It just has so much. There's so many layers in this. It has, you wouldn't think it would work. And there's even a pineapple opening, the original pineapple opening. So Aventus, Eat Your Heart Out, the original 80s pineapple opening. You're going to dig it, man. You are going to absolutely dig it. It's such a joy to wear. It's such a joy. These are the type of fragrances I actually feel really at home with. And another reason why there's no reason to spend $235 for green, you know, golden green, or $275 for Starlight or whatever it is, or $250 for Tony Iomi. There's just no reason when you can still get stuff like this. If you're in the fragrance game and you're really interested in exploring new stuff, don't start with the Xerjoffs and the Creeds and the Rojas and the Amouage. Start here. Start with vintage, where you can get a bottle of a 50 or 100 ml bottle of Ted Lapidus Pour Homme for $20. Forget about vintage or modern. Even the modern one's good. You know, start here. Start exploring some things like, you know, where you can get your nose on a lot of different stuff. Like I showed this off earlier because of Starlight. There's no reason to give Xerjoff what they're asking for Starlight. This is absolutely pathetic. Just a straight up theft. It's almost a straight up theft. I mean, it feels like they tweaked a couple things here and there just so it's not truly a straight up theft, and slapped a price tag of $275, $250, whatever it is, on Starlight, when really you can just go get yourself, if you can get a vintage bottle of Kenzo Pour Homme before LVMH owned the House of Kenzo, or one of the older boxes, you'll see the difference in the box style. But if you can get one of these older bottles, you know, pay the extra 10, 20 bucks. People aren't charging huge amounts for vintage Kenzo Jungle. I can tell you that. Even though I think it might be discontinued, you know, people aren't out there charging huge amounts yet. Go spend, you know, 10%, spend 20% of what Xerjoff is asking on this, pocket the other 80, and you're getting a better fragrance. You know what I mean? So that's the problem I have with these brands. And of course, the free bottle train on YouTube. They kicked me out. They didn't like what I was saying. I'm back. They can never silence me. But yes, the vintages make it very hard to, you know, to stand for this. And the fact that, you know, the free bottle train makes it hard to kind of weed out the people who are telling the truth and the people who aren't. I mean, from what Mike V was just saying earlier, free bottles of Taif Oud are going around. That's a 750-pound fragrance. And so these people are getting it for free. Of course, they're going to say great things about it. Could you imagine cutting off that for free? They're on the hamster wheel, man. They don't want it to stop. They don't want to go off the rails. But congratulations, Sandy Ravage. You're going to thoroughly enjoy that. Have to pursue PDLN in that case. How honest. Fifth Element. Completely unbiased. Absolutely. I always trust someone who gets free 750-pound bottles. Do you have Azzaro Onyx or Azzaro Silver Black? They are the same fragrance, I believe. You've been talking about that one for a while, Justin. Ariz Ladore Zamzamatar. What a treat. Never smelled it, Ajay. What's it like? Don't you just love how the old fella spits in everyone's face? I tried Iron Duke. Loved it. All right. Smelled a few others from the brand, but Iron Duke was my favorite, far less challenging than I expected. So I think I said that in the review that even though this is challenging, Iron Duke is wearable, right? Have you smelled Amouage Royal Tobacco? And if you have, do you think there's a comparison between the two? I think there is. I think there's definitely a comparison. This is the reason I never bought Royal Tobacco, to be honest with you. That, and I don't want to support the Fishman destroying one of my favorite brands. It's the 40 Milliscata Pour Homme. That's it. Congrats on that, brother. Bravo, indeed. Look it up. Have you tried Le Galion Sang Blue? Fragrantica compares it to Coros Eau de Sport. Clone of La Nuit de l'Homme, Dimitri says. Yeah, I could see. I mean, maybe there's a little bit of La Nuit de l'Homme. I could see that, but for me, I'm getting Kenzo Jungle. I mean, they're both spicy cardamom, spicy heavy fragrances, so I could see both. But yeah, I see what you mean, Dimitri. It's a good shout. Starshite, says Dusha. Can you imagine singing the song? Starshite, I hear you calling out to me. Smells a bit like Remember My Name. Wait, like Remember Me by Javoy, I think. I don't think I've smelled that one, Benji. Forgettable, don't like the milky dry down. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just, you know, imagine you're somebody who really loves Xerjoff. Like, let's just say you're someone who is in love with Xerjoff and you buy everything that they put out. They're just taking you down this, you know, this path of, I don't feel like they're ever innovating. I haven't smelled a Xerjoff yet that makes me go, wow, that is just so unique and different and challenging and out there and new. And that's what a niche house should be. You know, they're retreads. They're retreads. Hey, Rams, I bought 3 bottles of Zeno a few last months ago and assumed they were all new. Turns out, closer inspection, the other 2 are Lancasters. They are a lot stronger and more old school. Congrats, Roger. Sorry, Justin. Yeah, the Lancaster ones are awesome. I have 3 bottles. One of my favorite fragrances on me, according to my wife. My wife loves Zeno, and she likes Tom Ford's Oud Wood. Anyone smell the Man Silver? It's a cheap but supposedly good Koros cologne. I've heard of it. I've never smelled it. Just Filthy is a Koros cologne, not a Lapidus. I have a video on Just Filthy, Justin. Off to bed. Glad I made it my first live. Your channel rocks. Keep spraying with Gay Abandon. Until next live, thanks for being here, Marcy. Ooh, new Azure. No, don't get the new one, dude. Get the old one, Justin. Go for the vintage. I heard Wafts from the Loft say it is not worth the modern is not worth it. But I've never done a comparison, so I don't know. Got my first Xerjoff full bottle last week. Neo. Fantastic presentation in the bottle and case. Among the best. I've never smelled Neo, JT. What's it like? Hey, Ram. Ramsey joining the Ram stream. Or Ram joining the Ramsey stream. JT, I'm also wearing Hermes Intense Vetiver today. Got a 200 ml for 95 and spraying with reckless abandon. Projecting like a mofo today. Never smelled that one, Stephs. I love the whole Terre d'Hermes line. Man, I wish Amouage would sell those factices. Hermes is polished freshness. Hermes Voyage EDP is a banger. It is a banger. No one talks about that, Stephs. I don't have it with me. It's under lock and key, but you're right. It is. It is a banger. Close the blinds so we don't have peeping eyes looking at my fragrance collection. Eau de Hermes all day for me in spring and summer. It's definitely a spring summer, right? I have only the EDT version of Voyage. I've never smelled the EDT, but the EDP is good. You probably don't need both. Steph says the EDT is weak. Meant that to that Jeffrey Dame Just Filthy is a satisfactory replacement for vintage Koros. Yes. Yeah, it kind of is, although I wouldn't. I would just go for the vintage Koros. I don't think it's if you have 6 bottles of Koros 5 vintage, you don't have to bother with Just Filthy. I love Kenzo Jungle. It's so underrated. It is underrated, isn't it, Paroli? No one talks about Kenzo Jungle anymore. Let's say Dimitri's right, and there's this La Nuit de l'Homme Kenzo Jungle thing in Starlight. It's just, yeah. Been wearing 5 o'clock. Serge Lutens is amazing, as you say. I have the newer version. Doesn't seem to last as long. It smells great. I cannot pick out the tea note, but amazing nonetheless. It has that tea vibe. I don't think there's actually a tea note listed, Mike. But it definitely has that tea vibe, doesn't it? So relaxing. Such a beautiful fragrance. What a beautiful fragrance that is. One of the best finds for me. One of my favorite recent Serge Lutens finds. Oh man, 5 o'clock. Eau Gingembre it made #1 on my tea list. Although I've never smelled tea for 2. So maybe tea for 2 would be up there, but I love 5 o'clock Eau Gingembre. Glad you like it too. Stream died. We're back. We're back, baby. They can't keep me down. They can't keep me down. You're going to love Lapidus. Beware Ramsey took me to the dark side. I have all those he just mentioned. Get them all after discovering this channel. No, there is no going back. Once you've smelled vintage, there's no going back. Because every time you smell some of these niche fragrances, like I just mentioned with Starlight, you're gonna go, oh, it's been done before, or oh, it's this, or it's a riff on that. for 10 times the price. You won't be able to help yourself. It's the knowledge that most people are. That's it. That's it. What was it? In Empire of Lies, the truth is the only. I fucked it up. Just listen to me because I tell the truth, damn it. But no, there is some truth to that, Paroli. There's very few people who are honest anymore. It's part of the problem with our community because they're not just hurting. You know, I understand why they're doing it. It's a business now for them. You know, some of them even quit their jobs, and this is their job. YouTube is their job now. So could you imagine if they got on there and said bad things about it, and then Roja stopped sending them the free bottles? Then they have to buy them themselves, and so they're stuck. But they put themselves in that position. I don't feel sorry for them one bit. They put themselves in that position. It was their doing. And so I'm kind of, you know, I wish they would have some integrity, though. You know, I wish they would have some integrity and just say the truth, say what they really feel. Can you imagine how bad it must feel to get up there and feel one way about a fragrance? Because let's say someone like Redolescence, who's been sniffing fragrances for 15 years or whatever it is, your nose matures over time, you know, and to have to stand up there and maybe in his heart he feels one way, but he just can't get himself to say it, sucks. That sucks, man. You know, what's the point of a review? Then you're not watching a review, you're watching an infomercial, you're watching an advertisement, you're watching an advertisement dressed up as a review. And that's bullshit. No one wants to watch that. I'm exploring the stuff I probably smelled as a kid in the 80s, wearing Bijan right now. I love Bijan, man. That's good stuff. Good stuff, Sandy Ravage. Glad to have you in the community, man. Hello, Flippo. Welcome, man. Filippo in the house. Very much. It's dirty, clean, at the same time strong. Honey note is nice. It's also strong. I hope Lapidus is strong. Lapidus may be stronger than Bijan, man. I forgot about Remember Me. Sandy Ravage, Bijan Man is Bijan Man is Bijan Man. Neo is a citrus aromatic, slightly soapy. Interesting. Did you get a vintage bottle or a modern? This is true. Old Boy's correct. Trust no one but your own nose. But the thing about it, Old Boy, is that people use these reviews and us talking about fragrances on YouTube as a gauge, as a guide for what to buy or where to go next. Some people blind buy based on what people say on YouTube. And you know what? Right hand to God, I truly do think that people should take responsibility for themselves. Like when I blind buy something, no matter what some other YouTuber said about it, I never blame anyone. It's me. I'm the one that chose to buy or not buy. You know what I mean? But on the other side of the coin, if they're watching somebody who they think is telling them the truth, that's really, you know, more of an infomercial, and they blind buy stuff based on that, that sucks. Especially for the newbies in the community who don't know. You have to start somewhere, right? And that's the part of it that bothers me. It's dirty. It's a little bit dirty. 70s Ted Lapidus Pour Homme worth it. I mean, is there anything standing out compared to the big boys of its era? Ted Lapidus Pour Homme from 1978. Absolutely. Absolutely, dude. So not the one from the 80s that we just showed, right? Not this one. Not this one, but this one. The red one, right? The one with the red cap from 78. Yes. Yeah, look at this. Look at how they used to do it back in the day. Tell me that's not just suave. Tell me that's not just badass. I need to use this pen. I should use it. One of the biggest mistakes I made is Rich Mitch was selling off a 50 ml of this. And, you know, I should have bought it off of them because this is only a 30 mil. This is all I have, all the juice I have, but it's awesome. It's amazing. It's hard to describe. There's spruce in here. It's animalic. There's castoreum. It's a little bit challenging. I think this is like the grandfather of a lot of the 80s masculine fragrances because it came out in 78. And, you know, if you like stuff like, for example, if I'll give you a couple examples, GMG. If you like, just to give you some color, if you like Portos, Ted Lapidus Pour Homme from 1978 is kind of like the grandfather of Portos. If you like Aigner Silver, again, kind of like the grandfather. It's really good, really leathery, really 70s. Really 70s. I love it. I'm a huge fan. It really is very nice. I got it because of you. Thank you. I also picked up Vetiver Oriental and Shed Ghee. Haven't tried yet. You're in for a treat. Shed Ghee is one of my favorite Serge Lutens of all time. Vetiver Oriental, I have a vintage bottle coming in the next couple months, hopefully, from Poland, from Natalia. Natalia's keeping my bottles safe, waiting for a mule to bring them across the ocean. Curious if any of today's less good designer EDP, EDT stuff after long maceration would be any good, let's say 10 to 15 years. The problem is, Dre Frudat, yeah, I think they would still be good, as in, like, you could still wear them. I don't think they would be bad. But because of the materials the designers are using today, why would you want to wear a bottle of, you know, YSL L'Homme that's been watered down 20 times over, you know? I don't think there's going to be any demand for that stuff, personally. Amouage has it. He's got it, Justin. Good old Steven and Max. Serious question. Do 100% synthetics compositions require maceration? Under what conditions? I don't know. I would assume they still do because it's the perfumer that decides when the maceration stops. Maceration doesn't just happen when it's sitting in your bottle. It's not macerating when it's just sitting there, right? It's the perfumer that macerates it until they decide now's the time to stop maceration. And I think I heard Antoine Lee mention that usually a maceration can take 3 months, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Just depends on each fragrance is different. And that's one of the hardest jobs of a perfumer, is deciding when that maceration should stop, when the fragrance is truly ready. So yes, I'm pretty sure that's the way it works. But do 100% synthetic compositions require maceration? I would assume so. Excuse me. I would assume those. God, my camera does not focus very well. I would assume that that those ingredients still have to come together, even though they're synthetic. Galen, maceration will not help your bottle of Ganymede. Oh boy, Ocean, I blind bought Paris Monte Carlo Rose de Taif, and I can say it caught me by surprise at first, but I thank Ramsey for a solid recommendation. What do you make of it, John? What do you make of it? I like that lemony Taif Oud. It's beautiful in the heat, too. What makes vintage good? Is it the formulation hasn't changed in decades, or that it matured to a really... it's a blend of the fact that the ingredients were better back in the day. So, like, you take something like this, Portos, okay? Been discontinued for decades. It's the ingredients, it's the blend, it's the composition, it's the time spent on the fragrance that Balenciaga put into Portos. You know, they used to spend more time. They used to actually care. You know, they didn't just do a Portos flanker in 6 months to profit off of it. Like, it was important to them. Fragrances were released longer periods apart. The perfumer used to have creative autonomy over the process. So now they put everything through you know, focus groups and all of this bullshit, right? And they focus group everything down to death. Oh, we don't like this. We don't like that. Take this out. Add this. Add more caramel. That's what the focus groups are doing, you know? And fuck them, because they take everything down to the lowest common denominator. Basically, the dumbest, they take it down to the lowest common denominator where the most people might like it. And as fragrance enthusiasts, we don't want that. We want the challenging, the unique, the daring. We want stuff that makes people go, oh, I can't wear that. That's what we want, right? And perfumers back in the day used to be able to do that. The brands gave perfumers autonomy back in the day. They don't do that anymore. You know, now they're focus grouped to death. And so that's why this fragrance will never, and this is just one example, but that's why this fragrance, that's why Ted Lapidus Pour Homme, you know, that's why these fragrances will never be made again. Escada Pour Homme, they'll never be made again. And if they are made, it's in the niche world at 4 times the price with worse ingredients, in my opinion, than what they were using back then. You know, that they have to play within IFRA's new bullshit set of rules. So, yeah, I mean, like I've said before, the only way to go forward in the fragrance game is to go backwards. That's how you move forward, is to go back in time and explore some of this amazing stuff that most people don't even know about, you know, and you will hit a wall. When you go look for vintage fragrances, you will hit a wall. There are thousands and thousands, even to this day. Even yesterday, Rich Mitch sent me a fragrance, and it was a Gerard Anthony fragrance. At that, I've never heard of it. It was like Cora Guess or something. It's impossible to keep up with everything. And then there's stuff that you find that you love that you just can't find a bottle. Bless Rich Mitch's soul for finding himself a bottle of Pot d'Espagne vintage today. But I've been looking since Armando sent me this flanker, this very kind decant, you know, 6 months ago. I've not been able to find a vintage bottle of Pot d'Espagne. And so it's the hunt, it's the search, it's the, you know, it's everything combined. That's what vintage fragrance is about. And once you smell it, you'll know. You'll absolutely see the difference. You know, if you trust your nose, it'll be night and day. You don't have to be a genius to see how much better things were back then for fragrances. In general, do you prefer vintage classics or the modern stuff you really like? Vintage classics. Vintage is where my heart's at. You know, like I mentioned, the vintage Pot d'Espagne came out in 1903 or something, 1901. Oh, 350 is a lot, dude. I mean, if you just want to, I was gonna say I'll send you a decant if you're willing to buy like a 10 ml decant. I'll send you a decant, but I don't want to get into the business of decanting for everybody, because I could see how this is gonna go downhill if I start doing that. Hey man, can you just sell me a decant of you know of Guerlain Jeddi, or can you just sell me a decant of Guerlain Derby? Come on, man, just yeah. So I mean, shoot me an email, and maybe maybe I can get you a decant, Steph, so you don't have to spend that much on a full bottle. Because sometimes all you need is 5 or 10 mils to decide if you really want to spend that much, or if it's just, you know, something where, you know, you are content just kind of getting to know it from the decant. That sounds great, especially because don't know about US, but Eigner Silver is absolutely impossible to find here. Yes. Yes, it is. It is absolutely impossible to find. Gucci Pour Homme is not worth that, not even close. Were you talking about Gucci Pour Homme 1 or 2? It's unfortunate, but yeah, that's what they're going for. I mean, this full bottle of Gucci Pour Homme 2 is probably 350. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it is one of the most relaxing, comforting. There's like a tea. There's a beautiful Assam tea note in here, if memory serves. It's a beautiful scent. Is it worth $350? I mean, are you going to give $350 to Xerjoff for one of these creations? I'd probably rather have this, to be honest with you, but it is subjective for sure. $350 is crazy. Learning a lot through the streams and chats, living vicariously through you with all the good stuff. That's it. Just slowly but surely. You just kind of slowly but surely build your way up. You're not going to smell everything all at once. You're not going to buy everything all at once. It's a process, you know, and you really have to pick your spots. That's the thing, is if you just go gung-ho and just run and buy everything that everyone says, oh, the new Taif Oud from Roja's out, you'll be broke in no time, number one. Number two, you'll end up with a collection of shit other people like, not the stuff that you like. And that's kind of the difference, you know? You want to own a collection of stuff you like, you know, and that's if you love Koros, you want Koros. If you love Antaeus, you want to own Antaeus. But, you know, you don't want to go buy the Dua version because someone on YouTube said that it's close, and then you get it and you realize they're full of shit. So, but it's a real rose fragrance for rose lovers. I feel like I would absolutely suffocate someone who doesn't like rose. Actually, I bet you you would get more compliments on it than you think, John, because most men won't wear that. So you'll smell so unique wearing it. What about Gucci Pour Homme 1 and Gucci Envy? Gucci Envy is Gucci Envy may be my favorite from the trio of Gucci Pour Homme 1, Gucci Pour Homme 2, and Gucci Envy. I just love the way that, God, I love the way that ginger blends with all the other notes. It's absolutely stunning. But again, it's so expensive. I'm now more inclined to stuff made and sold by the perfumers themselves. Found you too late. Only after getting my first Xerjoff. Well, $90 ain't bad. Oh, yeah, for sure. I'd take Papillon over Xerjoff any day. By Bentley Absolute, almost identical with Gucci Pour Homme 1. Yeah, Bentley for men Absolute looks like this. You can get 100 mils for 40 or $50, I think. And it's the same perfumer. Now, again, to my nose, though, there are some differences, but you're really getting into the weeds. If you just want kind of the scent profile, yes, you can go for this. But there are some people that will tell you that it's not the same, you know, that this smells a little bit different. And I think it does. I think maybe the ingredients used here were a little bit better. There's also Oudh listed in here. There's no Oudh listed here. So I don't think it's exactly the same like they say, but it's very, very close. It'll get you in the ballpark for sure. And it'll save you a bunch of money. He wants to be a part of the Gucci gang. Yeah, the other one that gets hyped that I don't really love, or I don't love as much yet, I need to wear it more, is this Gucci Intense Oud. Again, once you've discovered Arise Ladore, Ensar, Bortnikov, it's hard to go back to this. Like, it's hard because it's just a step down. It's it can't compete with, you know, the Bortnikovs of the world, the Arise Ladores. It's very hard. But this is still good. I still enjoy it. I don't love it is the thing. Let me put these down here so I don't knock them off. Very good ginger indeed. Don't worry about FOMO. There's the Parfum Parfum. Yeah, that's right. Parfum Parfum has it too. If you had to give one Amouage frag for each season that would traditionally suit it, which would you choose? I've been really looking into getting Sunshine Man since it looks so damn good. Sunshine Man, though, for me, works best on like a cooler, clear sky day, right? Just blue skies, but it's cooler. It's in the 40s and 50s. It's not actually a fragrance made for summer, even though it's Sunshine Man. I don't know. I got to think about that, man. That's a tough one, John. There's so many good fragrances indeed. Yeah, that's a good shout. Comme des Garçons 2-man is actually real. Yeah, I might agree with you, Micah. I'm not fond of Bentley fragrances, but I believe you. Vintage collecting, you just have to be patient. 1 minute, there's nothing to be found of what you're wanting, and the next, there's 3 or 5 listed. Building contacts is key. And Amouage in the chat here is an amazing resource, but you got to get to know them. I mean, if you just go up, you're going to say the same thing to Amouage that everyone says. Hey, man, I want Charles of the Ritz Koros and an Antaeus bottle from 1984 and, Antaeus Sport Cologne. And, and Amouage is going to be like, oh, God, here we go. Another one. Yep, sure. I'll just put them on the list. Yep. Oh, you want a Scotta Portom EDP? Yep, sure. So you got to kind of make the contacts, and slowly over time, you'll find stuff. So many of my hard to find unicorns come from swaps. Yeah, that's right. I've always liked and worn florals, but Rose took me time. And the other one that took me time, and I talked about it on today's video on Mayo Fusciuni, is Vetiver. Vetiver is the other note that took me time. At first, I didn't think I liked Vetiver, and now I'm almost like I love it. It's grown on me immensely. Yep, Andy's the man. Bentley was a miss for me, though I like the Perfumer's portfolio. Nathalie Lorson, yeah. Bentley, you're talking about Bentley for Men Absolute, Micah. Talking about this one. It's not bad. I don't think this is bad. Yeah, I mean, for a boozy fragrance, for a rum or whatever it is, it's not bad. I think I prefer this one, to be honest, the Idole de Luban. But yeah, both are good boozy fragrances. Or if you want to break the bank, you could get this Tony Iomi. But honestly, I'd prefer that Spirit of the Glen. Gucci Nobile is the best Gucci. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's Gucci. Well, Gucci Nobile, Gucci Nobile or Gucci MB, but this is probably one of the best fougères ever created. Top shelf indeed. It is top shelf indeed. Stunning stuff. All right, let's get this this next one on the skin. So here we're gonna go Bicep, and it's gonna be Alexandria III. Oh God, I am kind of dreading this one. Someone told me it smells like Lamal with Oud. So this one came out in 2019. I think the original came out like a decade ago or something. All right, here we go. Alexandria III. Spice, oud, lavender. God, it's sweet. It is sweet. Someone said it was going to be sweet, and it is. That amberiness is shining through instantly. I bet you if they just toned down that freaking sweet amber vanilla thing that Xerjoff does, I bet this would be good. It's just I can't do the sweetness with this DNA. Although I'm getting a little bit of this woody, this rosewood, cinnamon, maybe a touch of cumin. Kind of like the cumin, if you've smelled the way that the cumin is done in Al Oud by La Tisane. Bertrand Duchaufour really amped up the cumin. There's a little bit of that cumin and oud thing going on. If there's real oud in here, I mean, it's not as bad as I was worried for a second there, but it's definitely, it's hard to go back to this stuff. I mean, that's the thing, is once you get to Bortnikov, Arige, Ensar, Agar Aura. It's very hard to go back to stuff like Xerjoff's Oudh. I'm getting the lavender. Xerjoff loves adding that herbal lavender to compositions. They did it with Naxos when they took Thierry Mugler's Amen Pure Havane and added that lavender composition. They did it with a fragrance I tried the other night too. Yesterday I tried one and they did the same thing. I think it was Fars. The very first one I tried yesterday was Fars, and Fars was a rose oud saffron combination, hands down. But they added lavender, and they basically did the same thing here. They've taken this oud amber, combination, rose oud amber with cinnamon and spices and, this oriental woody thing, and added lavender. Again, the same kind of standard operating procedure. And of course, that sweet Xerjoff vanilla. Honestly, if it was me, I would just tell you to buy this. And I know I said this yesterday, and I think I'll say it again because it's true. If you just want a fragrance that is a oud amber, there's no need to give Xerjoff. I'm about to pull up the price, but I'm sure it's outrageous. Go give $40 to Ajmal and get yourself a bottle of 1001 Nights. You'll be just as impressed, if not more impressed. Yeah, I mean, it's not as bad as I feared, but I couldn't buy this now. I feel like I'm past this on my oud journey, if you will. Let's see what Xerjoff has to say about it. Alexandria III by Xerjoff. Wow, 325 euros for 50 mil. Okay. Discover Alexandria Xerjoff Alexandria III, a heady journey across the Orient created in collaboration with Kostas, Xerjoff's brand ambassador. Rare Laotian oud and Bulgarian rose blend with woody top notes of cinnamon and most desirable ingredient, intoxicating Laotian oud. Evokes the most exotic lands, captivating and enchanting with every wear. Alexandria III Xerjoff is part of the Oud Stars collection, a tribute to traditional Arab perfumery created from pure oud distillation, rosewood and lavender, cinnamon, lily of the valley, and Bulgarian rose cedarwood, with sandalwood musk, blend of mature Thai and Laotian oud, amber, and vanilla. So I think Xerjoff claims they use real oud in here. I don't know. If they say it, take their word for it. I will maybe even try to do a video on that one day, John. So let me cogitate on that one. Ah, that's an interesting shout, Micah. Yeah, Duc de Verveines is very good. Nope. Yeah, I'm taking my time. It's a marathon, not a sprint. That's it. And your nose will change, so you don't want to grab everything at this point anyways. Instead of sold out, just nope. Yes, please. And I will pay for it, sir. I will send you a decant of Eau Sauvage Fraîcheur Quia, not the one that says leather freshness, for free. Just drop me an email, Stephs. I'm not going to do this for everyone, but drop me an email, dude. I'll see if I can get you sorted on Gucci Forum too. Nope is trademarked. That would be sick. Anoush, can you find me Jardinelle by Jean Deprez? Oh, that's a niche ask there, Dushan. I bet you not many people are asking him that. So again, this is not terrible. I was worried for a second there in the beginning because it felt very, very sweet, but it's calmed down. The spices are really starting to come out. You know what it's reminding me of? Interestingly enough, I'm going to say this, and I might be the only person to say this, but you know what it's reminding me of? It's reminding me of Xerjoff does a sweeter, more oudier take on Jubilation for women with that cumin spicy thing. Yeah, that's what it's reminding me of right now at this moment anyways, but I would just tell you to buy this or buy this, buy Jubilation for women. Actually, Abe did an unboxing today where he unboxed Jubilation for women, 25 for women, and but he had the real bottle, but this is a vintage tester, and it's you know, Xerjoff has nothing on the Amouage. Yeah, this is going down. This is going down a territory that I think Xerjoff will never win. They will never win this battle. They can't out Amouage, and I or the old Amouages anyways. Maybe the new ones they can, but so yeah. It's a beginner's oud that's already challenging to wear at times. Best suited for cold. Give me some hope. Your hope is nope. News, but there's a bottle of that one in Canada. I saw it in the Bay. Getting on here late, end of the day. Alexandria III, last all damn me. Is that the one? Is that the one I'm testing now, Michael? Have you ever smelled Jubilation 25 for women, Michael? Do you think they're similar? Victor said Chris Maurice, aka Christian Carbon. I worked on 95 of the Xerjoff scents. A man can do so much with one nose. That's crazy. Most, if not all, the Xerjoff stuff share the same sweet base. Yeah, it does have that feeling, doesn't it? There is a little bit of that shared base, isn't there? It's a good shout. He did have quite the nose on him, right? And I think it was always red with, I think I read like parts of a biography on JP Morgan, and he had some sort of he had this affliction, like this skin affliction that made his nose look really puffy and red and enlarged. And so he always just looks super pissed and hungover and angry. People used to just like get the fuck out of his way. Rose from Alex 203 reminds me of the same style Rose from Imitation Man. I'm not getting that yet. It's amazing how Chris created the amazing camel for zoologists. That might be one of his best creations. Yeah, it's really good. High-end clone house. That's what it feels like. Alexandria 2 is better. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to try 2. I enjoy the rose note a lot already, but what you say are your favorite florals. I enjoy white florals. I don't care for white florals as much. I really like stuff like osmanthus. Osmanthus has really grown on me. I like violet leaf, even though it's not a floral, but violet is. You know, there's a lot of florals that I like, but sometimes I struggle with jasmine and stuff like that if it's too indolic, you know. But I did an entire floral video on This Is Not a Top 10. You can check out. I'll rank it one day. Only full bottle that I own from Xerjoff. Nice. Does not last on me. You're one of many people who have said that, Michael. You're not alone, brother. I don't like Alexander 2. I get hit with heavily with a plastic accord. I've never smelled 1 and 2, so I'm a little bit of a disadvantage. But right now, at this moment, whatever it is, 15, 18 minutes in, it's giving me vibes of Jubilation Woman, like a not as well done, sweet with vanilla, you know, Xerjoff base Jubilation Woman. It's never going to win that fight, I'll tell you that. It's never going to win the Jubilation Woman fight. Also, have 1001 Nights. I don't find it similar at all. I don't think they're similar. I just think this is a better version of, I think this is a better version of an Oriental Oud. There's no reason to spend this much on Alexandria III. There's no reason at all. Graham is right for watered down creeds and $150 a bottle for these new shite designer releases. I too rather pay for vintage. That's it. Vintage is where your heart's going to be. Your heart will lie with vintage. All right, let's see. The final fragrance on the list today is one that's called Commandant. Commandant. And we're going to go, well, let me make my notes here. So left bicep was Alexandria III. And right bicep is going to be Commandant. Commandant. Okay. Whoops. Trying to put the pen back into the atomizer instead of the actual cap. That never works. Mike V likes Ivory Root. Never smelled that one. Yeah, never smelled that one. Let's try Commandant. The final, the 6th Xerjoff of our back-to-back double header. You know the best thing about doing this is that I clear out a ton of room. Every time I do one of these, I clear out a ton of room from this top shelf. Okay, let's spray this bad boy. Let's spray, let's spray. This is from the Join the Club collection. Oh, my nose is too close to my bicep. Let's let this settle. Look at that. Look at the sheen. Let me let that settle. I'm not getting very much yet. Just smells kind of sweet to me. I'm just getting like this ball of sweetness, like this plasticky. Someone said plasticky earlier. Commandant, I'm getting this plasticky sweetness. Maybe now a little bit of spices are coming through, but yeah, plasticky sweetness right now. Do you guys know this one? It's a take on Lidge with a beautiful peach and yellow florals. If they got rid of their sweet musk, the sweet thing in the base is bothersome for sure. That's sweet. Yeah, I mean, I can really smell the sweet thing in Starlight. And I'm just caked in shit. I'm wearing 7 perfumes right now. Okay, so now that some of this tobacco is coming through, it's a little better, but that sweetness is a no-no for me. This one, Commandant and Starlight, are like the 2 poster childs for that Xerjoff sweet thing that they do that just needs to be toned down. Oh, it's just like a ball of sweetness. Although this is tobacco and honey, so it's tobacco and honey. So maybe once it calms down, I'll end up liking Commandant, but it is way too sweet for me right now. There's no way I could get down like that. It's smelling like a cheap ass Mancera or something right now with that plasticky thing. It's almost smelling a little bit like the way that Cedrat Boisé opens up by Mancera. That's the only Mancera I can really, give an impression of because it's the one I had a full bottle of. I sold it. I gave it to Mudasir to sell. I don't think he's even sold it yet. But if you've ever smelled the opening of Cedrat Boisé, it has this plasticky, sweet, just bang you in the temple thing. And Commandant has that. This is supposed to be a clone of Dreamer. Never in a million years would I have guessed that. Never. Dreamer has much more of those fresh 90s white musks. Although I do have a modern bottle, so I would love to smell a vintage of Dreamer one day. That would be a hell of a comparison video. The coffee one dried down to a little bit more interesting. But yeah, Commandant is, it's basically just seeming like a sweet honeyed tobacco. Let's see what it's worth. $170, 50 mils. Okay. Eau de Parfum. The Join the Club collection of Xerjoff perfumes represents a series of exclusive clubs from art and poetry to yachting and golf, in keeping with the rare nature of these scents. Ingredients are kept a closely guarded secret. Well, excuse me. Instead of inviting the wearer to immerse themselves in the imagined world, Commandant's tribute to the classic smoking clubs of old in this powerful and intense scent. I'm trying to think of what it reminds me of. It reminds me, the plasticiness reminds me of a Mancera, but imagine you blend it with a sweet tobacco. I mean, that's pretty much it, like a floral, honeyed sweet tobacco. Have you tried anything from Hermes Jardin? Yes, I own one, but I can't remember what it's called. It's called, I'll have to look into that one. You should just get Dior Bois d'Argent if you want spicy sandalwood, yeah. Or you can get Trumper Sandalwood Cologne. That's a good one no one talks about. If you want spicy sandalwood, Trumper Sandalwood Cologne is very nice, but it smells like Ego East. It smells like they kind of copied Ego East a little bit. Good night, Ajay. Thanks for being here, brother. I love seeing you guys in the chat, man. Original Alexandria cannot be found any longer. A2 is more complex. A3 is more approachable. Interesting. I mean, I do get a little bit of animalics in A3, a little bit of funk. Yeah, it's just hard. It's hard to go back to this. I could never actually buy that. Alexandria Oriental was a UAE exclusive for a few years and is now available online and showing up at discounters. It's apparently the loudest and strongest oud flanker. Interesting. I love Xerjoff Homme and Naxos, but probably won't be getting any others, just like their oud stars for what they are. Yeah. I would love, if you find a vintage bottle of the Dreamer, in the old, packaging and everything, let me know. Amouage, I might be interested. Tried vintage Dreamer, can't stand any version. Is it close to the modern? Just wanted to thank you for introducing Santa Maria Novella. Ambra scooped up a vintage gold label for 100, you lucky bastard, because I paid twice as much for mine, but I'm glad I have it. Fuck it. I mean, 100 to 200 for the vintage gold labels, I'm there. Now I got to find that Pot d'Espagne that has eluded me. So, wearing 7 Xerjoffs, wow, you couldn't pay me to do that? Well, I have you guys, when you're the mayor of the fragrance town, you have to do these things, when you're Caesar, you got to do these things, Andy. Definitely upset the gods. It's technical layering. Well, luckily I'm not going anywhere tonight. Otherwise, the thing about it is, then you would have been stuck hearing me make a video about fucking Commandant, a video about, Fiero, a video. Now this just knocks it out. That's it. My thoughts are out there in the universe, and bam, it's done. It goes into the Xerjoff playlist, and you guys can access it some other time. Paroli it is the most 90s scent, right? Those white musks. See, now Commandant, now that sweet plasticky opening is starting to go away, what's left is this honeyed floral tobacco thing with maybe some herbs, maybe some, I don't know, myrtle or some sort of herbs in there to give it a little bit of, herbiness, herbaceousness. I tried to love it and nothing. I will buy vintage Città di Kyoto by Santa Maria Novella. It's also 100 USD. Interesting. They are subjective, yeah. Ambroxan. Interesting. I never thought about that, Ram. Well, wait a minute. This is Alexandria III. This is not the one you're talking about, but I'll have to check out number 2 one day. I never thought about Ambroxan. Maybe there is a little bit here, though. Just to add a little, a little, hey, oh. Sir? I never watched Love, but I'm here. Picked up Interlude and Jubilation because of you. Decants, of course, love them. I never watched Love. Oh, I never watch Love, but I'm here. Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you for being here, man. Thank you for being here. I love Interlude and Jubilation as well. I'm getting into bed, ready to relax and read a book. Yes, good stuff, Justin. I love Rochas Femme. In the hunt for Centimary Novella spot. Yeah, that makes two of us, Ram. Put your name on the list, brother. I'm down with the common cold right now. Sorry to hear that, Anuj. I hope you get better. The big three reformulations of Dreamer, and the lavender gets worse and worse, more dry, sour. Yeah, I know what you mean. I have no clue. That one I've never smelled, Michael, but I'm going for the vintage because that's what this is. This is from a vintage gold label bottle, and I fell in love with this. Oh, my brother from another mother rich across the pond found himself a vintage bottle for $100 today. When he sent it to me, I thought he was going to say, dude, I found you a bottle. And he was like, I got it for $100. I was like, congratulations, man. I am happy for him because that's a hell of a buy. I'm like, fuck, I've been on the hunt for this bad boy for 6 months now. He found it in France. They probably wouldn't have shipped to me anyways. Xenia Uomo is underrated. I've never smelled it. Tripled in price. Yeah, that tends to happen when something gets discontinued. Actually, we don't have Alexandria II. Alexandria II is not on the sniff list. It's only Fiero, Tony Iommi, Starlight, Golden Green, Alexandria III, and Commandant. And then I think we're done with Xerjoff. I think this knocked him out. So I think next on the list, we basically have, we can do some Fragrance Dubois. That ought to be fun. We can do some, I've got a Rania J sample set we can go through. I've got some House of Matriarch. I've got a bunch of samples actually that we can kind of go through. There's a ton. There's a ton of Sense of Wood. Sense of Wood, this brand I showed you earlier. A bunch of these samples to kind of go through with you guys. So there is a lot of these kind of live sniffings that I still want to do. And it feels good getting all of these kind of off the plate because now what I do is I take all of these and I put them away. I put them in a box and I put them like they're not going to be up on the shelf and they're ready to talk about anymore. So that makes me happy. Get them the hell out of the way, you know? Knocking out 6 scents at once. I actually don't hate what Commandant has turned into, but you have to like sweet tobacco fragrances. And since I already have multiple sweet tobacco fragrances and probably one of the best in Aramis Tobacco Reserve, there's no need. There's no need. The problem with these Xerjoffs is even if I find one or two that I like, there's no need to buy them because I already have stuff in my collection that does what they do. You know what I mean? Like there's no need to buy Commandant. And this is a better fragrance anyways. Aramis Tobacco Reserve. It's better. It does what this is trying to do better, you know. The coffee one's interesting, but again, I'm going to do a ranked coffee video soon. I would just wear Cristobal for the coffee, or that Arise La Dorée I just did a video on for coffee the other day, Agar de Noir. That's a fantastic coffee fragrance. So it's hard to spend, you know, Xerjoff on that golden green is asking 235 euros for 50 mils. It's very hard to justify what Xerjoff is asking for. Let's go through these one more time before I sign off. All right. So we pretty much all are in agreement that Casalmarati Fiero from 2009 is just kind of Xerjoff's take on Eau Sauvage, Chanel Pour Monsieur, Capucci Pour Homme, Roja Dove Scandal Pour Homme. You know, it's that kind of citrusy, aromatic, fresh scent. Not bad. It's not that it's badly done. There's just no need. It doesn't move me at all. Tony Iomi was interesting because it was the one with the rum, the liqueur. It was like a leathery liquor note. The problem is it has that sweet caramelly, you know, Xerjoff sweetness thing that they're doing in the base. So yeah, and it's pretty expensive, especially if you want to go for the limited edition signed bottle. So, I mean, if you like liqueur fragrances, there's nothing wrong with Tony Iommi, but I think there are better liqueur fragrances that you could buy for the money. That's a lot of money for this. It's not worth it again. And then probably one of the most disappointing was this Starlight. This is just a blatant copy of Kenzo. I think they really, maybe not a blatant copy, but they used this as a springboard and just put that Xerjoff sweetness on top. So they obviously made their own thing, but it smells like a $30 fragrance from the past. And if you know La Nuit de l'Homme, you're going to get some of that in here as well with that cardamom. And then we've got the coffee break one, which this one is interesting at least because it's a green coffee, a fresh green coffee. I can't imagine spending 235 euros on 50 ml of golden green when you have other coffee fragrances that are out there that I would rather wear. And then Alexandria III, that, you know, cinnamon, rosewood mixture with oud and sandalwood reminded me a little bit into the dry down of Jubilation for women. But honestly, they're just never going to win this fight. I mean, this is a fight that Amouage is going to win every single time. Jubilation for women would win this fight every time. There's no need. The oud may be a little bit differently executed here, but still there's that sweetness underlying, and especially hit me when I first sprayed, and then it calmed down. Now I'm getting it again, that underlying plasticky sweetness that really comes out in the final one, which is that Commandant. The plasticky sweetness in Commandant reminds me of a Montal or a fuck, I can't even think anymore. There's too many names I've been talking about. It reminds me of a Mancera. It reminds me of a fucking Mancera. That's the problem. You're going to spend $170 to smell like a plasticky Mancera. So yes, that's kind of the 6 we've tried today. Not all bad. Okay. Could have been way worse. I don't think there were any in this batch that were as bad as Italica. Italica is one of the worst fragrances I've ever smelled. I had to smell that yesterday. Probably the most disappointing of the bunch is the Starlight, that's just kind of blatantly copies Kenzo Jungle Pour Homme. Really uses that as a springboard. So Sentimarino, don't hyper fragrance so you get a bottle. I have I have to tell you, Andy, I've kind of gone, I've heard, I've watched other reviewers and people say when they'll do a review, and then like, I'm not going to say who I've seen do this, but someone who puts out a lot of videos, let's say someone who's kind of addicted to doing reviews, a lot of reviews, kind of like me. But they're on the other side of the world, and he got a bottle and he did his review and he was like, it's okay. And then he goes, all right, now I can tell you it's awesome because I finally got my bottle. I don't want to be that guy. That kind of seems kind of shady to me. Now that I have my bottle, I can say something great about it. That's not me, dude. I can't do that. My whole point in starting this channel was to be honest. And if I do that, I feel like I'm kind of losing that honesty. And so I can't do that. But I will find my vintage bottle of Pot d'Espagne one way or another. It will find its way home. Yeah, that'll be a fun one. There's a lot of sample sets to go through. I have the Parfums Cortana sample set we could still go through. I have the Rania J sample set, the House of Matriarch, like I mentioned. Oh, there's a bunch of Melegs. I have 4 new Melegs we can talk about, maybe 5 new Melegs we can talk about that I haven't talked about on the channel yet. So yeah, these early impression videos will continue because we can knock out a lot of samples at once. Then once we knock out some of these samples, then I can really focus on doing the individual reviews. I can review the stuff I absolutely love, you know. Like I would love to do an individual review on something like Cristobal. It's going to take more time and more wearing and stuff like that, but then I can kind of focus more on the reviews I have full bottles of. Yes. Yeah, you're right about that, Andy. There are people who buy for bragging rights, not because they love the fragrance. I'm curious how the current Pot d'Espagne is as well. I can't imagine it's as good as this. This is one of the best leathers I've ever smelled ever in my entire journey. This is up there with Bel Ami for me. It is fucking unbelievable. Oh my God. Thank you to Armando for pointing that out. Hey, Jimmy. Pot d'Espagne by Ariza El Legrand. I have not smelled that one, Dushan. Thank you, though. Anise licorice. Anise. That's a good shout. Let me think about that. Maybe I can do it tomorrow. Let me make a note of that. Anise. It's recently discontinued, Coty, but it's good if you like the 90s stuff, but very, you know, I bought that black leather and I don't think I'm in love with it, Justin. I don't know if I want to buy any more 90s stuff. This is yeah, I mean it's not terrible. It's just it reminds me of like it doesn't seem like leather at all. This English leather black reminds me more of like dihydromercenol, like Dracar Noir is kind of what it reminds me of. So yeah, 4 of those for $12 ain't bad, but it's not my thing. Man, that's awesome, Justin. Great find. Love photo indeed. Photo's great. That's badass, dude. Yeah, that's amazing. I have a bottle. Thank God. I love photo. Do you remember which color your bottle of Hermes Jardin is? I don't have a bottle. I've got a 10 ml Discovery Atomizer. I think it's Jardin. I'd have to go look. I don't remember. I think it's the pear one. Hey, Arbaz, welcome, man. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I decanted that for a friend yesterday, some of it. Yeah. Idole by Luban, absolutely. We talked about that one earlier, Filippo. This is it. Right here's the discontinued Eau de Toilette. This is a stunner. It is. It really is good. Yeah. I would take this over Bentley for Men Intense. Yep. Yes, Ombre is very good. Ombre Rem is very good as well. I don't think they're as similar as people compare them to, though, but they're both very good. I think I prefer Ombre Rem just because it's a little bit more animalic, a little bit more. There's like some oud and castoreum in there, whereas Ombre by Santa Maria Novella is just one of the most beautiful, just pure amber fragrances. It might be the only amber fragrance in my collection that could compete with Ombre Sultan by Serge Lutens. It's that good. Yeah, I'm about to sign off too. Yes, that guy sent me a bottle. My benefactor. It's the only modern bottle of Serge Lutens that I own. It's very, very good. Very good. It's an awesome oud labdanum. One of the best, actually, one of the best labdanum fragrances on the market. If you like Sahara Noir by Tom Ford, but you can't find a bottle because it's discontinued, this is what I'd recommend you get. This and Le Lion are probably my 2 favorite labdanum heavy fragrances that you can just go buy right now. So did you try More Than Words? No, that one was not on the list. We did Fiero, Tony Iommi, Starlight, Green, Golden Green, Alexandria III. We did Alexandria III. and Commandant. So yes, I love it. Absolutely love it. Shocked me how much I loved it. One of the best clean musk scents I've ever smelled. I'm going to rank my musk video one day soon, and that's going to be very close to the top. It's what I prefer. That's right. Well, my voice is going out. We're 2 hours and 45 minutes in. We knocked out 6 more Xerjoffs today. We've done 12 Xerjoffs in the last 2 days. So I really appreciate everybody joining, interacting, being here. You know, I love spending this time with you guys. I love doing these videos. It's good stuff. You know, the excitement everyone shows being here with me. And, you know, more to come, more samples to come. I hope these first impression videos help people, you know, make decisions. And I hope you guys can appreciate the honesty that I try to put forward, the passion, the love of perfumes. I hope I've turned you guys onto some good stuff, and I hope you guys are learning something from these. You know, I'm enjoying smelling new things and learning about new things. The database up here continues to grow. So yeah, so this has been fun. These little master classes. It's a great stream. Thanks for being here, everybody. Like the stream, lick the stream before you leave, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers. Bye-bye.